Hi, Aiko.
Hi.
What's up, guys? All right, so I just wanted to get you both in a call so
Mm-hmm.
that I could hear you guys go over the two main areas of disagreement. One of them was to do with just so I could see your opinions on like trans people, and also more particularly, um, I guess you would say more particularly your issues with Marychu's one video where she was, according to you, Aiko, just like lying about trans representative. And then after that, I think we should go over the Firebat stuff. So I guess I just want to start with that, Aiko. So you're saying
Yeah, let's start with the
that
video. Um,
Marychu's claims are just unfounded. Could you elaborate?
well, okay, so I watched the Katie Neese video. I know that she had an issue with me watching that one and not the video that you sent me, but I wanted to watch her coverage of a trans woman. I didn't want to watch a video about her how to talk to anti-trans cis man. So that's why I switched videos. My issue with the video is that whatever other research she might have done into Katie Neves, the entire thing that she based it on is just a website, not even a publication that has no sources in it. It's just like a like an erotic fanfic. There's not even an allusion to where this information comes from. So, I mean, we can talk about that in more specifics if you want to, but that's,
Yeah. So is that true, Marychu? Is that the entire area in which all of this Katie Neve information is coming from?
Well, first off, no, it's not. There's another source.
not in your
Second
video.
Uh-huh.
Second off, Aiko doesn't seem to understand why I sent the initial video. Purely and simply, that video just has quite a lot of my trans takes stated very plainly and simply, in a way that anyone should be able to understand. What Aiko wanted to do was go looking for something offensive, because she already doesn't like me. And the Katie Neves one was perfect. I have lots of other videos about trans people where I'm like very favorable. I watched a trans woman last week debating this guy called Monty, who's a far-right shithead who's trying to be Charlie Kirk. And I very much was on the trans person's side. What you did is go find something that you could get offended at so you can, shit on me further.
Now, is that true, Aiko?
Can I? Oh,
What was your thought process for choosing that particular video?
like I said, I am not interested in her talking about how to engage with or anything regarding a cis man.
That wasn't the point of sending that video.
I watched it off stream, and it didn't interest me. They're just regular arguments as to what someone would say if they wanted to, push back in a measured way against someone like that. That's not what I was looking for. I've heard that you have made some quite offensive content about trans women, and I wanted to see what that. I'm sorry.
So you went looking to get offended by something that you could show other people say is offensive.
I wanted to see what your content was like and what was interesting. Yeah, why wouldn't are you
Sure.
are you saying that the video wasn't worthy
No, you just
of
fully
being
shit
up?
on this. I'm sorry, man.
Well,
Oh,
Aiko,
so you think the
it does
fact that
sound like it does
Yeah.
sound
No,
like
you're
were
just trying to
looking.
manipulate people into thinking there's some kind of like good faith process here when you just wanted to find the most offensive thing you could.
honestly,
And you don't
I
understand why I
mean,
sent you the video I did.
I don't care. This wasn't about talking to you about your overall takes. It's about I wanted to watch that video because I wanted to see your how much work you actually put into something like this. Like I can't
Sure.
like how am I supposed to
No,
take
Aiko,
you
but it does
seriously if
sound
this is
like.
Perry, am I debating both of you?
Yes,
No,
go ahead.
I'm just clarifying. Because it does sound like earlier you were saying that you were looking for that video because it's like an overall descriptor of Marychu's content. Would you say that that's what you're doing? Or would you say that you're looking for something that you would disagree with? Because it seems like that's what Marychu is saying. You're looking for something to disagree with.
I wanted to it's not just, I guess I figured I would
Not just
disagree.
disagree with, get offended by, and use it to be like, this person's a bad person who you already don't like. It's very transparent what you do, Aiko. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I wanted to see something that represented your most extreme
You've no
takes, I
idea.
guess? No?
You've no idea.
Do you
what
think I can't
represents
be
my most extreme
interested?
takes.
You think that I can't just be interested
I don't know what you're even talking about.
in your content? You think that I can't, like, what's the
No,
problem
you're not
with me
interested
doing
in my content. You don't care what I
analysis?
think about things. You told me that.
Well, I don't respect what
It's
you
just
think.
the story is changing constantly.
It's not.
Well, so Marychu, to be fair, would you say it's like wrong for somebody to like look for content that they disagree with to cover on stream? Because if Aiko didn't have an issue with like your other video, but they want to like, you know, make interesting analysis of your content they disagree with, you're almost phrasing it like that's like a bad faith thing to do.
It's bad faith when you already don't like someone and you're like offered to talk to someone.
I
And
didn't
they just
offer.
suggest-
I'll be clear.
No,
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. I was offered. I didn't say it was you. I said I was offered. I was offered this conversation
You said I did.
and presented a video that gives. Please stop talking. Jesus fucking Christ. Where do we ask the question again, Parry? I've been.
So, would you say it's like bad faith for somebody to look for content they disagree with to cover on stream? Aiko did watch your other video off stream, but they just didn't see it as, you know, good stream content. And you're saying it's bad faith for them to watch a video that they disagreed with.
It's not bad faith by itself. It's bad faith when you already don't like someone to go looking for something that you can find offensive and paint them as a certain kind of person. Especially when, I don't know, I make myself available to talk to if people want to ask me about my takes. I don't know if Aiko even understands the actual point of like the stuff I say about someone like Katie Neves.
I mean, to me, from this video, I'm going based off this video. It seems like you took this essay and just went with it. You talked about it as if these were facts. You even said, I was just watching, I didn't get to finish it, but I watched you talking about this video and wait, sorry. Fuck. My cat is like trying to push things off. Okay. I'm sorry. What was the thing? I got distracted. Sorry. Oh, actually no. The sources. So, me seeing this, you reading it aloud, you even mentioned in your video that oh, look on the thumbnail. There's the words on the thumbnail that support what I'm saying when that's just from the essay.
Yeah.
That's not a source. There's literally there's not even a reference to a source in this. If like when you look at this,
it's not a source.
in the essay,
Well, whatever is in the essay, I know more than what is in there. So why don't you do your research and then talk about this?
Actually,
Well,
I mean, I did. This is my research. I wanted to see what your video is, and if your video was incomplete, is that my fault?
Well, then go looking for more info. I don't know.
Why? I don't care about Katie Neves specifically. I'm interested in your lack of standards when it comes to sources. That you are willing to just take something like this. Someone that said pronouns can act like Rohypnol and talking about tricking women into lowering their guards down and this weird like fantasy. No, you literally were talking about you read aloud how the feelings of excitement and shame and humiliation after being caught wearing his sister's underwear and gleefully, eyes partially shut, his lips curled with euphoria. Like, what? How could you take a source like that seriously? How could you treat it?
Talking about.
Oh, do you? Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, then why didn't you include any of that?
Why should I? Why does it matter?
Because it's a video that you put out about a person? Do you expect everyone who watches your video to go and just dig up the subject for themselves to make sure that you didn't fuck it up? When people like a content creator, they watch their video. No, when people like a content creator, they watch the video and they assume that the person, if they like them, has done their due diligence to some measure. You have not presented that to us.
Okay.
Why is the onus on me?
Well, you should probably understand the subject you talk about, that's all. I do understand the subject I talk about.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like you have that much media literacy if this is your standard.
I don't care what you think about my media literacy.
I mean, you should care about your
I should care
media
what you think?
literacy.
No.
No, you don't have to care what I
don't
think,
care
but
what
maybe
some
you should
fucking city streamer
consider
thinks of me.
your standards moving forward.
I think you should consider your own standards and then get back to me
Like about what?
about trans issues being 2021 talking points.
Oh, no,
I'm
no.
trans.
That's not
This
what I
doesn't
meant.
end for me.
No, I'm sorry. You misunderstood. When I said 2021 discourse, I mean the kind of discourse that we did year after year, every Pride. It would come back and it'd be this whole cursed, never-ending
Pride?
debate thing.
What's Pride
Yes,
got to do with anything?
every year when Pride Month would start, it would go back into this discourse. The fear mongering about trans people and about trans people gooning in front of children. And so we've heard.
What's that got to do with anything that I said?
You're saying you just said that I called these issues 2021. I'm saying that I didn't want to get into discourse
and then
with
you're
you
listing
that
things
was
that are nothing
similar
do
to
with what I
that.
talked about.
I'm not saying that 2021. I'm not saying that it was left back in 2021 or that it's not important or
But you're
real.
leaving it in 2021 because you won't talk about it now.
No, I don't want to have
I
that
am still
discussion
trans.
with you. I don't want to
I
have
didn't stop
that
transitioning
basic.
in 2021.
I'm sorry.
I didn't stop transitioning in 2021. You can leave it behind because you're cis. It doesn't matter to you. You can just
I don't
want
want to have this conversation with you. I don't care about talking to you about sports. That's what I meant. I didn't mean that it's not
Okay.
real. I personally don't care about sports, and if sports stopped
You
existing
don't care about
tomorrow, I
trans
wouldn't.
issues, to be
I
honest,
wouldn't
but-
norm. Okay, let's talk about trans issues then. Like, what do you think? You mentioned something about me not caring about bathrooms?
Mhm. Right, bathrooms, did I? I can't remember.
Yeah, you said something about like how like it doesn't
What's the
affect me. Bathrooms
It
don't
doesn't
affect
affect
me.
you. You're cis.
Yeah, it doesn't. But I
So you can
heard
just
what you
leave
were
it in
saying.
2021.
Well, no. I mean, this
There
is
wasn't
like
a
an
good reason
ongoing
to say you
issue.
didn't
I
wanna
care.
talk
I
about
care
it,
because
didn't
of people. When I
You don't care.
do you,
Don't lie to me. I'm trans. I know this.
I
shit.
don't care.
I know
Do
when
I
people
care
are lying
about
to me.
you specifically? I don't care about you. But you are not the only trans person. You're not the arbiter of transness. So if you want to
Didn't say I
go
was.
do some other thing, if you want less rights, that's fine. But I
don't
think
want
that
less
people should be able. I'm sorry?
I don't want less rights.
I mean, I did see you also
don't understand
say
what I'm
that people were trying to get you too many rights. I don't need you to advocate for all these rights. It's too much.
You don't need me to do anything because you're not trans. You should butt the fuck out.
No, that's what you said. You
Mary,
said
so I
that
did want to ask you
people.
about this. If you'll just
I
part
said what?
because it seemed like people were listening to what you were saying with regards to cis people talking about trans topics, and I understand the point you made earlier about what Aiko said about Twitch Pulse 2021 stuff. But do you really feel like cis people can't have opinions about
Of course
trans
they can have
topics, and you have to?
opinions.
Well, it seems to me like you're discrediting Aiko's criticisms of your trans analysis based on her not being trans. Am I wrong
Well,
for saying that?
the issue I take is when cis so-called allies
I don't care about
tell
being an
trans
ally.
people- Shut up.
I'm just telling you.
Well, let me just finish.
Go
Please
ahead.
be
Go ahead.
quiet.
I
Please be
apologize.
fucking quiet for like 2 seconds, please. Thank you.
Continue.
What I have a problem with is cis allies who go around telling trans people how they should talk about their own issues. I don't like that. I think that is transphobic. I think Aiko is transphobic.
Right.
Oh
But-
no.
So, I guess I would ask, do you think that any trans person saying anything about trans discourse, a cis ally or not or whatever, isn't it's transphobic of them to criticize that?
Depends on the criticism.
Do you have an
So what about
example?
in this case? I guess you're saying Aiko's transphobic, or I feel like you said something to that effect.
Yeah.
What-
I think
what
woke
criticism of
scolding someone
hers-
like me
Uh-huh.
is transphobic.
Wait, I'm sorry. What did you say? Say it again.
I think that to woke scold me is transphobic in your case, yes.
I mean, am I woke scolding you, or I'm just saying my
Yeah.
opinion on your conduct?
No, you're woke scolding me.
I mean, if you want to take it like that, that's fine. I think you're also
No,
woke
you're
scolding.
doing it. It's not what I'm taking, it's what you're doing.
Okay, let's say I'm woke scolding you.
Okay. Yes, you are.
Okay?
Thank
What's the problem? You woke scold people all the time. You say that
Do
cis
I?
people can't criticize trans people on their issues and whatever.
Didn't say that.
You did say that what did you say?
It's you policing
Let me
how I
see.
talk about trans issues that's the problem.
See, if
You
I
don't
just
understand the points I'm
disagreed,
making, and you're offended on people's behalves.
if
You don't
if
seem to understand what I'm actually saying with any of this.
I mean, if it was just a disagreement of takes, then I wouldn't bother. But I find the overall way that you speak, I mean, the stuff, again, I want to be clear. I do not care about femmes. I don't know femmes very much other than like through Trough and you know, watching Firebat stuff. This is not about that. This is purely, I got interested in this when I saw you say those things to femmes because I was a bit taken aback with the amount of vitriol involved in there. I was like, what is the source of this bitterness? So I wanted to
Could you
see
just
more.
remind people what Marychu says, just so that people are on the same page? Aiko,
Wait,
like
with
remind
what?
People? Wait, what she said about femmes, could you remind people? Or if
Oh,
Marychu wants to say it or whatever.
when femmes was going to, do you want to see the clip?
No, we don't need the clip. I called femmes
just,
a crossy. I called femmes a little boy.
Yeah, little boy, crossy, but not just that. It was the way, the vitriol, and like, I've been full time since you were X amount of years old or whatever
You
that
came in
was.
halfway through an argument. That's the problem.
I was there. I was watching. I was watching. I did watch
you don't
that.
Understand what I'm saying. You don't understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
This predates all of that. There's a lot of stuff that was going on, like this person telling people to kill themselves in like VC in my Discord.
I don't care what she's been doing.
Well, then
that doesn't. I'm talking about why. I'm talking about your 35-year-old woman conduct towards a 21-year-old. If you were younger, I wouldn't even like engage with.
Stop babying
because
people.
it's
Stop babying people. This person is.
You
old
are
enough
behaving like
you are
behaving like a child
on the internet, and they get bit sometimes.
You act like a high school mean girl.
You're a mean girl, man.
I mean, I'm saying that. Like, you were saying to her, like, you are an elder and she should be bowing down to you and what you say that she should be doing. You are shitting on her for going boy mode outside. Oh, no. When I looked at your bio, okay? It says you've been out since 2015. So you are older than Femyaz is right now. So what right do you have to say what her timeline should be?
I'm not saying there should be a timeline. I'm saying that someone like that is not even a real trans person in a lot of ways. Because they won't be themselves all the time.
Because they what?
That's being a cross-dresser. A cross-dresser is someone who dresses up at home and then goes out and presents as male everywhere. If you have a good reason not to be presenting as trans, then maybe, but what kind of reason would there be?
What do you mean? People have their individual lives. Like, if someone's gay and they come out of the closet, that's on their time. It depends on...
Femyaz doesn't present in public because Femyaz is incredibly insecure. Femyaz is incredibly insecure about their appearance, but constantly bullies everyone else about their appearance, including people in my Discord who she told to kill themselves.
Okay, then you should
that was why there was a lot of animosity going in.
Kick her, ban her.
You got in here halfway through an issue between the two of us, and you're judging based on shit that you don't know the context of. I'm just not very interested in your Femyaz takes.
Again, I don't care about Femyaz. It's you.
Then why are we talking about this?
Because it's your conduct. It doesn't matter what Femyaz has done. It doesn't matter. I noticed you deflect to what other people are doing. No, I'm not. I'm just watching on my own stream. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch.
Well, Aiko, just out of like curiosity, Aiko.
Yes, Perry.
Right, sure. Listen, Aiko, is there any behavior? Is there any like behind the scenes behavior that Femyaz could have been engaging in that you think would like more justify what Marychu said, right? Because you're saying you don't care, but I'm sure you would agree. Let's say that I don't know, Femyaz did something disgusting to Marychu. That would you agree or disagree that more justifies Marychu's behavior?
If Femyaz raped Marychu, I think that Marychu can say anything she wants about her. But I'm talking about Marychu's way of I mean, the way she carries herself, the way that she talks about things.
Oh, it's always the generality of the generalness of how you carry yourself was general
I'm talking,
bullshit. Have you listened to anything I say? Jesus Christ.
I've pointed out specific things. I pointed out specific things. I don't know why you have a problem when I make a general statement after saying specific things. What I mean is that I don't care. Let me finish. What I'm saying is that it could be if Femyaz is doing these things, cut them from your community. Don't talk to them. Ignore them. Thanks
for the advice.
No, I'm just saying It's I don't take, as Perry asked, I don't think that the conduct of the other person is what should dictate your behavior. Own your behavior as it is. You don't need to bring in, like, if you're fine with it, you don't need to, huh?
Did I not apologize on Sunday?
Did you mean it?
For calling?
Did you mean it?
I don't know. Did I mean it?
No, I'm asking genuinely. If you tell me you
I'm
mean it,
asking
I'll believe
genuinely,
you.
Did I mean it?
I'll believe you if you tell
You
me.
don't believe anything I say. There's no point.
Right
I might as
now,
well say
just say, if you
anything.
tell me that you mean it,
I might as well
I
say
will
literally
accept
anything
that.
because you people just make shit up about me constantly. There's no point.
Why won't you answer? This is what I mean when I say you
like yourself.
obfuscate.
What has Aiko been believing about you, Mary? That's made up.
Wait,
Also,
no.
I'm just
Can we
curious.
say, Perry first, can we just ask Mary, was that apology on President Sunday stream genuine? Since you brought it up.
Well, it does. Well, you know,
No. I want this answer because this is
mean-
my issue. Is that, like, she will just dodge, she'll deflect onto what other people are doing.
But they
I want a
already
straight
said
answer.
that they were sorry.
Hmm?
Yeah, it's almost like
couldn't you just say?
I just want to
Why?
know. Did you watch it, Perry? Sunday's stream?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't watch
Okay,
it. So I don't.
so
did they say it
what
in,
I
like, a
want to
sarcastic
say,
way?
no. President Sunday said, I think you owe Famias an apology. Marychu said, I apologize. She just brought it up right now that she apologized to Femias, so I'm asking, did you mean the apology?
I don't know. Did I?
Do you see what
Well,
I'm
it seems to
talking
me,
about?
Aiko, that, like,
Perry,
he's just one of the
tell
dead
me,
ends. Did
no.
I just say?
Let's not
No,
move
I'm
on
answering-
from
I'm answering
this.
you. Because
Perry.
no matter what Marychu says now, then you could say, "Well, do you mean what you just said?"
No, I
And
won't. I promise.
You're the
If
expert
she
on Marychu.
answers,
Tell me.
no, if she answers,
won't want-
I
suddenly
will
won't
accept
psychoanalyze
it.
me?
I will just accept it. I will not be like,
So
you mean
so
that? I
why
will
didn't you
not do it.
accept
Just,
the other one.
Now you're making it too
You
easy.
know,
I'm sorry, what?
Now you're making it too easy. Now
I'm
it's more
saying-
fun to never confirm either way.
What?
So you can go back to your little
Okay,
family
this
and be
is
like, "Oh, we can't-
very
they really
cope.
didn't mean it 'cause they didn't
Okay,
answer the
you're saying
question."
this because
I'm
you
like, "Guys,
can't give
that's
me a
fine. I
direct
don't have to
answer.
beat
This is
people
what
up."
intrigued me about you in the first place, because you don't give direct answers. And that makes me wonder, what are you pivoting away from? What are you hiding?
What am I hiding?
So I
I'm
want to
not hiding
know,
anything.
you brought up the apology, saying
I
that
have
you
a lot of disdain for
apologized.
you,
So did you
so I
mean
don't
it? That's
have
all
the
I want to
question.
know.
Did I mean my apology? I don't know.
Yes.
You're the expert. You know how I think, apparently. Why don't
You
tell me?
are, I am an expert in the fact that I've witnessed you doing this over and over and over, of pivoting. I don't know. Am I?
I am
You'll
an
find out.
expert.
You'll find out.
told you, I
So
told you.
I don't want to move on from
Not
this
even-
until you actually just respond to that. It's very simple. Did you mean the apology to Femias?
what?
Yes or no? You brought it up.
Maybe.
So you're actually 13 years old right now.
Am I? Why
Let's
are you picking
continue.
on a
Okay,
13-year-old?
I'm
Why
not
you
moving on from this until you give me an
45-year-old having a
answer.
go at a 13-year-old on the internet. That's a bit mean, isn't it?
Wait, I'm sorry.
do
What'd
you
you
want
say?
to continue or do you want to stay on this? I'm a bit confused.
I am
where
gonna
you wanna take this
I'm not letting
conversation, Aiko.
Mary brought the apology up. She said that she apologized
That's
on
my
President
fault. It's
Sunday's
my fault.
stream. It literally is. You brought it up,
It's my
so
fault.
you should answer.
Yeah, it's my
I'm
fault.
glad you
It's always
admit
my
that.
fault. It's
So
always
yes
someone
or
else's
yes or
fault.
no? Did you mean
It's always
it?
everyone else's behavior that I'm
Did you-
correcting, and somehow I never have to look at my own. That's you,
I
right?
mean, you did say a lot of things about me
What are you
that
as a
were
45-year-old doing
projection.
having a go at a 13-year-old on the internet
So-
if I'm 13?
Again, I'm not moving on from this. Did you mean your apology to Femias on President Sunday stream since you brought it up? Yes or no?
Did you cry because Nick Fuentes and Destiny went for lunch that time? That was quite funny.
I would be happy to talk about that
Why did
right
I
after
like-
you answer. We can talk about that and any other thing. We can talk about Nick DiOrio DMs. We can talk about anything right after you tell me, did you mean your apology that you just brought up that you gave to Femias on Sunday stream? Yes or no? Did you
told
mean
me
it?
You told me you're the expert, so you should tell me
I don't know why you think I'm a mind reader.
because you said so.
I never
Anyway,
said
like-
so. So I'm not moving on. We
Said
can
you were
talk
the
about
expert.
anything you
said you
want.
watched 3 of my videos, so
Afterwards,
you're an expert on me.
afterwards,
You're the Mary expert.
after
I don't know anything.
this,
I don't know why I do the
everyone
things I
is
do. Why don't
seeing
tell
that
me?
you
Why don't
refuse to
tell me?
respond. I will talk to you about anything you want after this. You can ask me anything.
Oh,
I'm
no,
not going
happy
to
having
move
this
forward.
discussion. We can stay here all day.
Okay.
This is great.
Okay, great. So,
But I don't understand. I'm a bit confused, Aiko. It's like, why would you not believe Marychu when they said it on President Sundays in the first place?
she's not
That's the only
saying
issue I
if she
have.
meant it.
Well, yeah, but why would you
Sunday
ask that in the
direct
first place? That's
Parry,
what I'm-
Parry. If you're not gonna press her, then you're just debating with her against
I'm-
me right now.
Yeah, but do you actually
But I'm
mean
just
that genuinely,
confused
Iko?
So
about why.
either stand down and wait,
I agree
Parry.
they're not answering. I
Yes,
agree they're
she's not answering.
That's obvious.
Do you think it's reasonable
But,
for
like,
her to
why are
not
you
answer
asking?
this?
Yes, I do.
You
That's
do?
the
Why
issue,
is that?
Is that it seems like
Why is
because
it
seems like you
reasonable?
brought this out of
She
nowhere.
brought
They've
it
already
up.
answered
She
how
brought
they
it
feel about
up.
the Femio situation.
She
Yes,
brought
but-
up
and you're
apologizing.
asking if they
Parry.
meant it. But why would
Should
you
we
ask
look
that?
at? Should we pull that up? Should we see her apologize?
Sure.
gonna
If
bring
you
it
think
up.
that it matters,
Let's
then I will play it on my stream.
Okay, let's find
and
it then.
Go over it and screen share.
Okay, let's see. Does anyone have that link? I will. You want to do it that way? All right. Just wait it out. Let's see. Let me find his.
Really, what I wanted to like move the
Stream.
conversation to was
No, we're not.
asking-
That's fine, Parry. But I
If
am
you-
not moving on from this until all she has to say is yes or no. But she doesn't want to.
Right.
I'm
But it
glad
seems
you're
like-
genuine when you ask whether you think I'm being genuine.
It
So I think
doesn't
you should
matter if you
confirm whether
think
you're
I'm being
and ask that
genuine. If
question.
you are being genuine,
No,
it
why
shouldn't
ask when I'm
matter
being
if I
genuine?
am or not. The answer is very
Okay.
simple.
He's being
You
genuine.
apologize to
Why not?
Femyas after
The
President
50-year-old
Sunday
woman on the
said.
internet doesn't have to
President
take
Sunday said that
responsibility for
you
anything.
owe Femyas an apology in his opinion.
Yeah, I
you
was in the
said, "I'm
conversation,
sorry."
retard. I know what happened.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said I was in the conversation, retard. I know what happened.
Well, then why don't you tell everyone else? Did you mean it?
Why don't you tell me if you genuinely actually want to know or not? 'Cause I don't know
I
if you're
do
being genuine or
genuinely
not.
actually want to know. Genuinely?
I don't believe you.
That's all that I want to know right now.
You need to do more to
I
show me
want
that
you
you're
to say
genuine
it. I
in
want you
asking
to
this
say
question.
it, but you won't because you can't
Yeah, but
stand on
genuinely
business
why?
about anything. Stand on business. Do it. Just say it. Did you mean your apology to
What, you?
Femyas?
I know, you tell me. You're the expert. You told me you're the expert.
That's not an answer. I couldn't possibly. I could guess, but I would never know because this is you. You are your own person,
Well,
Mary. You have your own inner world. I don't know how deep it goes, but you have the answer inside you. I believe you could give it to us.
Right, but Aiko, by that
genuinely
logic,
believe
no
I could
matter
give
what
it to
Mary
you?
says now, you could say that same thing to what she just said.
Hmm?
I understand you won't, but I think Aiko.
I'm sorry, what?
You are being a bit it just comes off.
How
as
is
you
it
being
unreasonable for me
here.
to not move past this point? That shows
Because,
very
like I said-
obviously
like I
that she
mentioned
can't
before-
engage honestly.
Well, because she's already answered it on President Sunday.
No,
so
she
you just ask her
hasn't.
to repeat.
No, that wasn't an
Well,
answer.
she did.
She brought it up.
She
She
said
said,
she was sorry.
No.
She
She
said, "I
said she
apologize."
brought up the fact that she apologized. I asked if she meant it, and she won't answer.
I'm glad
I-
I'm being reminded of what just happened in the conversation
Yes,
where we're all
and the
in.
fact,
That's
yeah,
helpful.
I'm not gonna let you forget. I'm not gonna let anyone forget because it matters.
Genuinely, though?
Huh?
Like, everyone can see that that's happening. I
Not
just
in
don't
this.
see.
Everyone can see that it's
why-
happening. It seems like you're not
Can everyone
really acknowledging
genuinely
it,
see
that
it?
it's
Can
a
we check
real
that everyone
thing.
genuinely is seeing or not genuinely seeing? Because I think that's
Hold
important.
on, I'm looking for the thing. So you can think about if you want to answer or not
Yeah, actually,
while I
give
look
it
it
a
up.
play. Let's do micro analysis on my body language and shit. Epic.
Oh no, I'm literally just asking you if you mean it, if you meant it or not. We can move on right now if you just tell me. Did you
Are
mean
you literally
it when
genuinely
you?
asking though, or literally not genuinely asking?
Let's see. Hold on. I'm just gonna look and okay. Let me find it. Okay.
I understand that that Marychu brought up the fact that she apologized, but I don't
Here.
see why her bringing it up.
I'll give you the
justifies you
timestamp right now. All right, I got a link for
demanding
you.
this, but okay.
I got a
alright.
link for you. Will you screen share it for us, please?
Yeah, I'll screen share.
This is very
Yeah, but
important, Harry. You gotta understand.
I'll screen
It's
share. Okay.
2:59:29.
Don't look at my doodles. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Okay. 49, you said?
What?
You owe
I
her
s-
I'm sorry for calling you a boy.
Right.
apology bluntly. Maybe she owes you one too,
I'm
but
sorry,
I think you owe her
Femios.
one.
I'm sorry for calling you a boy.
Okay. Well,
So is that it?
Yep. So all I'm asking, since you brought it up, I'm asking, did you mean that?
Why don't you tell me? You're the expert.
You've said that a bunch of times. We have seen it.
Yeah, 'cause
I
you've asked the
wasn't
same question
there.
20 fucking
I'm not
times.
in your head. This is a very simple question.
But
Did you mean you? This is the issue. My issue with you is a lot of times you don't say what you mean and you won't stand on business. So why don't you
Okay, so
just
what do I mean
stand on
then?
business with that? I don't know. I'm
do I
not
mean
you.
then?
I'm not you. I don't know.
What didn't I mean that I've said?
I don't
in a different
know.
way?
I don't
You
know.
don't know,
I
so I
want
say
to
it then.
know. I want you to tell me yes or no. Did you mean that apology?
Do you genuinely want me to answer, or are you just saying you want me to answer?
I genuinely, and I'm saying that I want you to answer. In this
What if I
moment,
don't
there's
believe you and
nothing
need
I
further
want
proof that
more
you're being
in
genuine?
this conversation. This is
What if I
all
don't
that
believe you and I need more proof that you're being genuine?
you think that you can only be genuine to people who are genuine to you?
I don't know.
Really? You don't think it's worth it to be a genuine, authentic person all the time with your own thoughts and opinions that aren't based on other
Am I
people?
not?
I don't know. This is a question for you to explore, maybe with a therapist.
Oh wow, yeah, I'll go see a therapist on your advice.
Okay, so
What
did
if-
you mean it or
Listen,
not?
Mary,
Did you
listen,
mean it
Mary,
or
Mary,
not?
listen.
Just
Ask you when you
answer.
have psychotic
We're
fits.
not
I
moving on.
understand.
I promise we will
I
talk about
understand, Mary.
Recommend me a
anything.
therapist. Why don't you get a list of
The
people local in my
arbitrarity.
area and I'll call them up. How about that? Actually
I
help
understand the
person instead of just
arbitrarity of
talking
this,
shit.
Mary. But like, could you just answer the question so we can move on? I understand it's arbitrary. You know, the one that's Aiko seems to be.
What was the question again? I
Have her-
forgot.
Let
Go
me
ahead, Aiko,
say
go
it
ahead.
again, okay? The apology we just watched, you say to Femyaz on request of Sunday, or rather Sunday saying that he thinks you owe her apology and you apologized. Did you mean that apology that we just watched? Yes or no?
Maybe.
See, can't stand on business. Can't stand on business.
Okay. So
Why?
that
Because
made
she
it
knows
right
that
there.
she.
You're
'cause-
deficient in that area. It's supposed to be fun. Lighten up. Lighten up. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah,
You're streaming
yeah,
instead of
yeah,
doing a
yeah.
shitty
That's
job,
what
where you
you're
have to talk
saying.
to fucking
That's
shitters
what
all day and get fucking
you
told that
are-
you're fucking the worst person ever because you did something a fraction of a second too slowly for their liking. Lighten up.
Huh? I
It's
don't know what
fine.
you're talking. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but this is
Yeah,
embarrassing.
you don't know what I'm talking about
This
ever.
is
That's the problem.
incredibly yes, because you talk nonsense and you talk vaguely and you won't say
No, I don't. You
yes
just
or
don't
no.
understand.
No, maybe. This is
You're too stupid to watch my
completely
content.
your. This is an inner world thing for you. Only you know if you meant an apology or not. So did you? Yes or no?
Why don't you tell me?
Well, I think we already.
Harry,
we've been over
I'm not
this, I
moving
feel.
past this. I'm literally
But, like,
not
why
moving.
not?
If
Why
this
not?
is this
Right
is
now,
it.
you're-
This
you're-
is literally it.
you're
I'm
like
not
make-
moving past
You're
as
making
if
a
this
fool of
isn't
yourself,
a
Aiko.
thing.
You are making
I'm
a
sorry?
fool of yourself. You're not allowing
I
us
don't
to hash
care.
out the other stuff.
I don't care,
Okay.
Perry. I literally don't care. This is what I do. I don't
didn't realize
move
it would be
on.
this easy, fucking hell, man.
Yeah. This is what. Yeah, you're
I
wishy-washy,
got you earlier too. Jesus.
unserious person.
What with you? Yeah.
Okay, that's
That's what
fine.
happens when I'm talking to an
Shouldn't
unserious
this be?
person.
I'm not the. You're not just talking to me though. You're talking to everybody. You're talking to all the viewers. So don't answer
Are
it
any
to
of your
me.
viewers
Answer
not
it.
unserious?
Not. I'm talking about the viewers overall. What I'm saying is
What,
the
are they
fact that you can't
genuinely
even
unserious?
you can't even answer if you were genuine in what you said. You can't even say if you meant it or not. How am I supposed
Why
to
do I need
engage
to?
with someone like that? Why would I?
Why are you engaging with me anyway?
Because
You know
I
what we're
told
fucking talking about,
Harry
like,
that
ever.
I would. He asked if I would debate you for content, and I said yes.
Do you think trans people should be happy with someone who's kind of a fetishist expressing like kind of fetishy things in a seminar where they're teaching people?
I
about trans inclusion?
don't know because I haven't
Yeah, you
checked
don't
out the
know because
sources.
You don't understand the point I'm making.
I-
Why don't you know Aiko? Let Aiko explain why she doesn't know.
No, I'm not moving on until she gives me a yes or no answer.
But you were just explaining that it's because you
But
don't
do you
know the
genuinely
sources.
want a yes or no answer?
Mary, I believe in you. I know you
What
can
if you're
do
lying?
this.
What if you're
I
lying?
know. That's
What if you're
the
lying?
thing about being an honest, genuine person is that it doesn't matter
You
if
wouldn't
other
know anything
people are
about that.
lying. If other
You wouldn't
people
know
are
anything
lying,
about that.
your standards are for you, not for the lowest common denominator of what other people do. Or it should be at least.
So what?
Hmm?
So what? What do I do with that?
You could answer yes or no if you meant what you said, or if you just said it to say it.
Why do you need telling whether someone means what they say? You should be able to just tell. You're an expert, right?
That's
You're a streamer.
literally
you
not
talk
how
for a
that
living.
works. That's not how it
If you're
works
that
at
dumb
all.
that you can't work it out, then why are you
We can
streaming?
speculate, and
Oh,
I
wait, you've
have
been doing it for 5 years
speculated.
and you get
I
fuck all
have
views, wow.
speculated about overall
Which
the things
falls
you
up
say,
sister.
but ultimately, I would
Yeah.
never
badly.
presume that I can read your mind. So
If you
if
care
I
about
did it
transphobia-
badly, then you
If you care
can
about
correct.
transphobia, talk about that Idaho bill that just came out. That was pretty cooked. They're banning. They want trans people to go to jail for like 5 years for using a women's toilet more than once. I'm against that kind of shit. You know.
Wow, that's so cool. I don't take anything you say
Talk about real
as
transphobia.
Mary.
You don't believe her, Aiko?
Mary, we're not moving forward. I'm not letting this go
No,
until.
you're not moving forward. You haven't been
Yes,
moving
I
forward for 5
literally
years. That's the
said.
point.
You said no. You're not. I literally said I'm not moving forward, Mary. I'm not
Yeah,
moving
no, I
forward
heard you
with
like 2
this.
seconds ago. I'm not stupid.
We can talk about all the things you want. As soon as you answer, did you mean that apology? It's very simple. If you can't be honest
Well, what
about
if
a
I-
very simple thing, why would I bother engaging in anything deeper than that?
Well, what if I just want to talk about what it means for someone to say that they're genuine about something, being that anyone can just say anything? What if I want to
I
explore
don't
that? We can
care.
talk about that.
I don't care about that. That's yes, obviously.
But you'll say on
Obviously,
this
you
subject.
you have to take information in and make your own decision about what you think. You're not giving people the opportunity to make an accurate assessment of a situation if you refuse to say what you actually mean.
That's retarded.
Why?
Because people can just fucking decide for themselves based on what I said. They don't need me to tell them. If I say I'm not lying, am I lying or am I not lying? You don't actually know, do you? So it's pretty
Are you
worthless.
saying okay,
It's
so
pretty
are you
worthless to
saying
ask
that
what I
you
meant.
weren't lying when you apologized? You meant it.
No, I'm talking. Oh my god.
You
Mark.
meant
No,
it.
Aiko, what they're
More
saying
generally.
is...
No, I understand what
Michael,
she's trying to
yeah.
do. I'm not going
Jeez,
to
no
play
wonder
that
you
What I'm
killed
trying
game.
to
him.
do.
Jesus
I'm not
Christ.
going to play this game because I don't.
You are
I'm
playing
not
the game.
going
That's
to
the
talk
problem.
about deeper issues with you when you can't even be
that's
honest
not what she's
about
done.
this
No, Aiko, that's
simple
not what's
thing.
happening.
If you don't want to play the game, hang up.
I'm not
That's
going
what's
to hang
happening,
up.
Aiko.
I'll
What's
do
happening
this
is-
for
No,
as long
that'd
as
mean
it
you ran.
takes.
You're very sensitive
What's
about
happening
people
is, like,
running.
what Mary just
Mary,
said is... what Mary
okay,
just said
let's
is-
okay, Perry. Let's talk about that because you said that I ran Perry. Meanwhile,
I
you
know,
let me
no,
be
we're
honest.
not-
Let me be
this is not-
clear.
okay,
Let me
whatever.
be
Say
clear
whatever you
because
want. Go ahead.
initially
Yeah.
you gave me no notice in the first time. The second time you asked me 5 minutes in advance while I was ending stream, and so there's this whole narrative that you've been pushing forward, Perry. Could you maybe say
I didn't, no, I
yes?
said I
Can you say
miscommunicated.
that?
What do you mean?
And I told
did
you
already. I've already
a
said that
day
on
and a half
stream. I said
before
that.
to give me a time, a day and a half before she put out her
That was my
video
day
that
off.
I just watched. So I think it's a little bit unfair, Perry, how
Yeah, but
you've
you
been
kinda
representing.
said-
I don't care what you're saying, Mary. I don't care.
You kind of said
Perry,
that
I'm
you were more
talking to
interested
Perry.
after my video.
I'm sorry, what?
You kind of said that you were more interested in talking to me after the video and be like, oh, well, since you want to make a big thing about it. So you kind of sounds like you did run, to be honest. The first
What?
time, not the second time. I think the second time was a bit unfair.
No, both times I told him to
agree
set
was
it up.
last minute.
So why
Both
did you leave
times.
comment being like, oh, well, since you want to make such a
There
big
was this
deal
one
about it.
time, Aiko,
What?
that Mary, I called Mary, and you were in chat and said, I'm not going to talk about this trans stuff.
I said
That's
I
the time I
didn't
feel
want to
people-
talk about. I didn't want to talk about the sports or bullshit with her, but I will. I mean, I'm here for it, but you have to tell me. You have to tell me. You have to answer this question. You have to. If you can't answer a question and not
No,
just
not right now.
without.
I mean, no, you're
I'm
referring
sorry.
to right now. I meant like the first time we were meant to have this conversation. You were in chat saying, I'm not going to talk about this trans stuff while Mary was in the call. That's what
That's
what
not
people
the
are referring
first
to when
time.
they-
That's not the first time.
think
That
it
was
was
the
first. I'm
time.
pretty
No,
sure it
that
was
was
the
the
first.
time when you gave me 5 minutes notice. That was the most recent time. No, and the
No,
other
that-
time you
they
have
were- I
never
was in the-
given me
okay.
notice for any of it, Perry. You tell me last second, but I'm here. I'm
So-
here, and it's the morning for me. I don't stream at this time, but I do this for you, Perry.
Look, I agree. I messed up with some of the communication here now. I'm not sure if the timeline's getting delineated accurately, but whatever. That's fine. What I would like
It
to...
is,
Okay.
but okay. So
What I would like to focus on
Mhm.
is this idea that Mary, in your video, you use this source, which is like this right-wing website or whatever. Would you not agree, Mary, that if there is another source for this information with regards to this gender person and their cross-dressing and their lectures and seminars, that you should have mentioned it in the video?
Yeah, I'll cop to that criticism. People can just like send me a message and ask, hey, where are you getting this from? Instead of being like, oh, this person's evil. Oh, I'm going to make out that they're a turf and shit like that. You know?
I mean,
I think
I
there are
think
ways
it's
of
pretty
doing it.
obvious. Why would I ask you about it?
Why would you ask me why I'm
I'm-
genuine
I don't-
when I say
I
something?
don't- Well, no. I believe that you're
You need
genuine
me
in that
explaining to you?
in what you're saying when you are like talking about like calling this woman a man, an AGP, and a pedophile.
I don't call him a pedophile.
You said that it was very weird how focused they are on young girls. You
Yeah,
implied,
so I didn't call him a pedophile.
yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I apologize. You heavily implied that they were a pedophile.
I didn't imply they were a pedophile. I just don't know why like middle-aged male people are saying, "Oh, it's really important that other male people are able to enter the Girl Guides." Why is it important? Go in the Scouts. That's co-ed anyway. Why some of the Girl Guides aren't very? They want their own like women's spaces, like female spaces. Like, can't they have the odd one?
I don't know what the
anyway?
Girl Guides are. I don't know about any of that.
Oh my god, Mike! You didn't even watch.
It doesn't matter. This is about your video, not about Katie Neves. It's not about Kate.
Oh my god.
Mary.
Let Aiko
Mary.
have a point at Mary, all right?
Mary.
Can you shut up and let Aiko say her response?
Mary, this was never about Katie Neves. It was always about your video and your sources or lack of sources.
Which was about?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Which was about?
Your video? Your video?
was about?
What was? It was about this trans activist that you
Katie
hate.
Neves, who it's not about apparently.
Wait, what? Wait, what are you trying to say?
Well, no, Marychu is saying Aiko that you're saying it's all about Katie Neves, but the video is about Katie Neves.
Yeah, no, it's about her how she engages with this. It could be about someone else. Katie Neves could turn out to be a pedophile, and I would be like, I'd throw my hands up and be like, well, I guess that is a bad one. That would be fine, but I would never take Mary as a source considering what her standards are.
You don't know what my standards are.
I'm witnessing them. I'm looking at this essay and I'm seeing you talk about.
Video. Are my standards always like that, or is that one video? You don't know.
I mean,
so why are you saying general things about one video?
I mean, are you saying that this is just a shitty video that's embarrassing to have up?
No, I never.
Would you say that this is
Why do you change
reflects?
Everything? Why do you change everything?
What do you mean
to the
change
worst version of
everything?
yourself? You're a liar. You just make things up about people.
Okay.
You're actually full of shit.
Okay. And okay,
Mary,
so did
you
you
understand the point of my video? You don't understand my point about representation.
I think that you made that video. You picked someone, and you were like, and you enjoyed yourself in calling.
Well,
what you literally literally selected a person. So I mean, when I say picked, you did select a person.
Oh, if I literally did it, it must be true. Fair enough. Go ahead.
Aiko,
do you not know what
picking
the process
for that
means?
video was?
I'm sorry.
Well, you're saying,
what,
Aiko, what are you saying that Mary was trying to do with that video? You're explaining. You were going on a monologue. You're saying that Mary picked that person, and then what?
So what she did is from the video, what I saw in the video, she showed this source, or this essay, didn't show where the essay was from, but read it as if it was factual, talked about how like, oh, this is disgusting and terrible, not providing any extra context or information that would back that up. Like looking, it would be one thing if it was like a source that was even a little bit more of a facade of credible. But this is so on its face, complete fan fiction.
But it's not fan fiction. This shit happened. I've seen it. I watched the fucking.
You know
clips,
what fan
man.
fiction is? You know what fan fiction is? Saying that someone is gooning, saying that someone is aroused and licking their lips and being like a freak.
How would you describe arousal? What's a feeling of arousal like?
I want to know where does this information?
Like it feels right, it feels wrong, it feels a bit dirty, a bit naughty.
These things absolutely can exist. This story, this thing, it could be true about someone. It could be true about someone, but this is not a source. This is not a source.
We've gone round and round on this. This is the most lame fucking point ever.
Okay, that's fine. So let's go back to, did you mean your apology to Femyaz or not?
This is boring.
Did you mean your apology to Femyaz or not?
Did you mean to ask me that question in good faith?
Okay.
Are you being genuine or are you not being genuine? Because I can't tell.
I'm genuinely asking. I'm genuinely. I don't know what you mean by good faith.
How do I know you're genuinely asking? What if you say you're genuinely asking, but you're not?
Actually,
What if I
it shouldn't.
say
It shouldn't.
I genuinely meant my
let me
apology,
let me
but
let me
actually I didn't?
respond to you. Let me respond to you. I
Go on.
think that when you talk to someone and they ask you a question, it doesn't matter if they are genuine. You should be able to answer that question.
In general, yes. What
Yes.
if I
Yes.
have some clarifying questions that I want to ask first that it would inform my answer?
Okay. So ask me any clarifying questions you need in order to answer if you meant the apology or not.
What if I said I meant it, but actually I didn't mean it?
Then you'd be lying.
What if I said I didn't mean it, but actually I did mean it?
Then that would also be lying. That would be a weird
So I
lie,
could
but
just be
okay.
lying whatever I say. So what does it matter what I respond
Anyone
with? Why
could
don't you
be
just make your own
lying.
decision?
Anyone could be lying. What I want is for you to make a statement, commit to a statement,
What statement?
which
What do you want me
is
to say?
did you mean? I want you to say yes or no. Did you mean your apology to Femyaz on President Sunday stream? Did you mean it? Yes or no?
Why do you need me to tell you whether I mean something or not?
Because we're in public and everyone's watching, and I
We're not
think
in
that is
public.
important. Okay,
Everyone
we're
is like 20
online.
people,
We're
probably.
online.
70.
People are watching. Okay, and this is
Oh, yeah,
it's
no,
on
Carrie's an
public
actual
record.
audience.
I want to
People want to
know. I want you to give a direct answer
Why?
because this is what we do.
This is what we do. What does that mean? Isn't that a Katy Perry song or something?
I have no idea. I don't
Well-
listen to Katy Perry.
Me neither. I've just heard that song before.
But what I'm saying is that we, when we do these things, it's on the record. It's on the timeline of things that have happened. And right now on the timeline, you are here. We are here together. We are talking about something that happened just yesterday, and you cannot answer yes or no if you
Well, yeah, 'cause I'm
meant
very
something you
suspicious
said.
about your motives.
It
Why are you
doesn't
so
matter
invested
what
in
my
me saying yes or
motives
no?
are. I just
Yes,
want
it
you to
does.
respond. Is
Yeah,
it a
but I'm suspicious about your motives, trying to strong arm me into saying something. I don't know.
then give me an answer that you think is just give me
I've already answered you.
you literally haven't. You said maybe.
No, I have. I just haven't given you an answer that you want. You laid out two
You
options.
literally
like
yes
yes or no
or
answer.
no.
That's-
It
that's
is
my
a yes
point.
or no, right, Perry? It's a yes or no answer, right?
Right. Well, you want a yes or no answer. They have answered the question.
Perry,
It's unsatisfactory to your
Perry,
standards.
this is
So I just-
Perry. I
what?
asked a yes or no
What?
question, right? I
Well,
asked a yes or
we're
no
getting
question.
into
There
a-
is an answer. This is not a nuanced thing. This is you said something. Did you mean what
Well,
you
this is
said
like a-
yesterday? Yes or no? It shouldn't be this hard. We shouldn't be stuck on this. It
This is
should
like
have
a
been like
philosophical question about
it's
maybe
not a
needs to answer
philosophical question.
It is,
She's
'cause you're
making it
asking me, Perry.
philosophical.
They said maybe. Does that count as a response?
No,
And the answer
it
is kind of,
doesn't.
but
It's
obviously
not an
unsatisfactory
answer.
response.
It's not an
Well,
answer. It's not an
It is
answer,
but
Perry.
not a satisfactory answer.
Perry,
It's an
it's not an
unsatisfactory
answer.
So not an answer you want, and I agree with that. And I would love if Marychu gave you an answer that you would want. However,
No. An
it seems
answer,
very-
not what I want, but just in people want to know in general. You said it. I'm sure
Who's
everyone that was
people?
watching Sunday's stream wants to know too. Everyone that's going to
No, they
watch
just
it in the
watched and
future.
they
So I want to
intuited.
know. I want to know. I'm sure anyone interested wants to know. Ignore me. Answer to the good faith people out there. Did you mean your apology? Yes or no? Forget that I'm
Okay, can
even
an
here.
actual good faith person ask me that question then?
Perry, can you ask that in good faith?
Perry's not
so
good
yeah,
faith,
and that's a
doesn't count.
person.
He's
oh.
not good faith? What the fuck do you need then? What do you need? Do you need to be like romanced into this? Do you need like
No, I just want you to
flowers
explain-
and
I just want you to explain why you're so invested in this particularly.
Because
you
you-
really want me to give you a
because-
certain answer.
no, because you won't answer, and that proves my point about you. That you are
Proves what?
vague, that you won't stand on
No, I'm taking the
business.
piss out of you. I'm not normally like this.
That's what you say.
You're not getting my normal
That's a
personality,
very
'cause you don't deserve
interesting
it.
cope to have right now. Oh, I don't deserve
Yeah,
it.
it's a cope. Okay. Why don't you
It's
change
a-
the
It's
title?
obviously
See,
again?
I can
not
answer
very
any
much
question that you
to be
ask me.
fair.
You're very gullible
What? Why? Tell me why.
because you fell for it earlier.
I fell for what?
Well,
You thought I ran and you changed the fucking stream
You
title.
said that you were, yeah, because you said you weren't showing up, and that wasn't
Are you
surprising.
autistic?
No, I'm not. Are you?
Okay.
Aren't you?
A little bit.
Okay.
I'm
I
off
was
for
recently
things.
tested, so no, but I don't know why an autistic person would say
on
that to
this
me.
topic of
We
autism,
just
on
take
this
things
topic of
very
autism,
literally, that's all.
Mary,
You need-
I
you
would
need
like
be
to ask
actually
you,
told
Mary.
things.
You seem to have had a lot of personal insults towards Aiko, like you were making fun of them for being a titty streamer. You said that
That's
they
not making
do
fun,
weed
that's
in
a
order
statement of
to.
fact.
Right. You were saying
You
that
said
they
I'm
do
a
weeds
cat.
to manage their psychosis. You said
Yeah.
would you what has Aiko done to you that you feel justified about that? And then you said it was wrong of them to
Made
make fun
like
of someone's
several
dead
10-hour
mother.
streams obsessing over me.
It was fun, to be completely honest. So
Yeah, you really sound like you're having fun with this.
the only other person who's ever called me a titty streamer was Soul Skibbity. So that's
Who's that?
interesting. Just
Who's
some
that?
Sounds like a
guy.
nobody.
Just some
He's a
guy.
goat
Some guy.
catto
Okay,
lover
so what do
boy.
I
People
get?
are typically very confused by that, but I don't. If that's what you want to call me, that's fine. I don't care.
Cool,
You
thank you.
had this
I'm
thing
glad I have
about
your
you
approval.
have a weird obsession with my voice, though. I know you thought that I was using
I'm
a
not a
voice
fan.
That is
changer
true.
to make my
I
voice
just
You did say it was a
higher.
fake voice.
You thought I was making
Do
my
you
voice
believe that this is a fake
higher.
voice right now, Mary? Do you believe that Aiko right now is using a fake voice?
I don't know for sure. It doesn't matter if I'm
But if
wrong
you-
about that because it's a fucking stupid point. Who cares?
Then why are you
But they
harping
talk
on
shit about
it?
me all the time, so I'll
Why'd you
talk
harp
shit
on
back,
it
it's
then?
fine.
Do you why do you say after that I've been obviously doing voice training?
Because what I thought would happen is if I went on about it a little bit and we finally spoke, that you'd get like triggered over it, and you have done.
I
so thank you.
literally don't listen. None of this stuff
You don't
triggers
care.
me.
Oh no, you don't care. Sorry, you're cool.
No,
calm,
no,
and collected. I do apologize.
this is I
I
what I
misrepresented you,
want.
that's
I
fine,
want
I
a
apologize.
direct answer from you about something you said, and you're deflecting it to all these different things. You can call me a titty streamer. You can say that I cried about chicken and waffles. You can say that I
Well, you
send
did.
Nicky
You were on
Oreo
stream
lots
doing
of DMs. That's fine. I don't care. That's fine. I don't care what you think of me. I just want an answer from you, a genuine, on the record answer of if you meant your apology or not.
How do you know whether I'd be genuine if I answered?
I can't. I can only take you at your word, just like everyone else.
There you go. Anyone
Just
could
like
say anything.
everyone else. So in the future, it's on the record. That's how it works.
So
We
why
go
is it
back, we
then,
pull up
Aiko-
clips.
Why would I need it to be on record as to whether I was?
You
being
don't need
genuine
it
or
on
not? Why would I
record,
care
but the
about that?
people, since you have done
Why
this,
is
you took it
Aiko-
upon yourself to do this. No one forced you to do anything. So I'm just asking if you meant what you did, what you said, and you won't answer, and that's very sketchy.
Yeah, I think it's very sketchy to try and press someone on something that you can just intuit from watching it. To be honest,
You
I'm
can't
suspicious of
intuit.
your motive,
You can
so I'm
intuit
asking
things
further
when
questions.
you can intuit to a certain degree, but when you are right in front of a person and you are asking them about a public statement that they made yesterday, why would you ever say that this is something that I have to intuit? That's very suspicious.
Well, you managed to intuit that I'm a TERF, even though it's literally not correct.
I mean,
And anyone that actually listens to my takes, I tell you what you should
Is it
do.
true,
Just actually
Aiko?
listen to
Did
a
you call
stream,
Mary
shut
a
the
TERF?
fuck up and just listen.
I think she has
Actually,
turf
listen to my
takes.
point.
Yeah,
Or
Or
absolutely.
watch more videos. Watch more videos. Watch
What
me.
were the-
watch
I
me
don't
watch the trans
care. I
person.
don't
What were the
care,
turf
Mary.
takes?
I
What were
don't
the turf
care.
takes,
I was.
Aiko?
I.
It's fair enough you don't care.
Okay.
But from
okay,
what you
back
saw,
up,
what
okay.
were the
I'm
turf
not a
takes
TERF, Thank
then?
you.
Like,
Listen,
it's fine, you don't have
Perry,
to watch every
Perry,
Marychu
Perry,
video.
Perry.
Uh-huh.
I'm not.
Yeah?
We will answer this stuff after she responds. I'm not getting
Right.
sucked into moving forward. I just need an answer because what the fuck is the
You've never been
point
sucked
of
into moving forward,
engaging
that's
with
the problem.
someone? What is the point of engaging with someone on more serious topics when they can't even answer if they meant what they said yesterday? Why would I
It's just
take
that you don't
anything
wanna
she
talk
says
about
seriously?
serious issues.
I mean, with you, not really. I don't respect you. I'm just here because
Likewise.
of Perry. Yeah, that's fine. I know you
Likewise,
didn't want to do
likewise.
this. I know you didn't
Well,
want
then
to
the
do this.
point
We
would
just
be
do this
that
for
would help me
Perry.
out,
I
Psycho.
understand.
No, I
That
just
would
think
be the
you're a,
point.
I just think you're a woke transphobe fake ally, and I don't
That's
really care what
fine.
you think. You
I
can call me
also don't
anything.
care. Yeah,
You
that's
hate
fine.
trans people.
Well, by
If
your
that's
own
what you
logic,
wanna
Aiko,
think.
can we?
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
I do think
Go
that.
ahead.
It's very obvious to me. When you're actually trans, you know this shit. Trust me.
By your own logic, Aiko,
Yeah,
can we
sure.
move forward for my sake? For my sake,
No,
can we
Perry.
move forward then?
No, we're not. We're not.
you're here,
I
so you're
don't.
here
Then
for
make
my
her
sake.
answer.
You
Then
wanna move
press her to
forward?
Make
answer,
me answer.
Perry.
Make
If you
me
want to
answer.
move on, get her to give an answer. It's yes or
Yeah,
no.
make
It's
me.
very simple.
I don't,
There you go.
Make me, Parry.
I'll next time I'm in London, I'm going to like physically to force Marychu to give an answer. But I can't do that right now. I'm not in London.
No,
How are you
but,
gonna
but do
physically
you
force me? Have you got a
understand?
gun or
Do you
something?
understand though why I wouldn't
Knife.
want to engage in topics with you when you won't even give a straight answer about something you've already said?
No, I think that you're susceptible to being trolled, to be honest.
This is trolling. You think this is troll?
I don't know. Is
You're
it?
going. Is that the narrative you're going with?
You need me to explain
Since
that
you
now?
you can't speak plainly.
I
That's
can't
what. That's
speak
what this
plainly.
is.
Well, Am I incapable of speaking plainly, or do I just not feel obliged to speak plainly to you because you did multiple like weird streams on me and said all kinds of weird shit about me that's not true?
People want to know, not just me.
Okay, then they can ask me.
Okay, Perry doesn't count as asking you. I
Well,
mean,
not
this
me.
is
Perry
all
really
immense
cares.
cope. This is this is
Does
shameful
Perry really
cope.
care whether I'm being genuine or not when I say
I don't
something
think so.
about
Obviously he doesn't. But
And he's
I'm the
not good
only
faith,
one
and he's not a good
here.
person to
I
ask the
care,
question.
and I'm the only one here.
Oh, now you
but there are
care.
other people that care. I care about you
they can
answering
ask
my
me.
question, yes or no.
I'll be genuine with them. I just don't feel obliged to be genuine to you because you're insane.
Do I
Well, I'd say if you,
have to? I'll
It's
fucking
very
find
clear.
someone to bring on to
Why don't you call
ask
me
her
a
that
turf another
question.
100 times without explanation.
I think you do have turf takes.
I have the odd thing I agree with turfs on. I think
Okay, which I think
beforehand there
is
was a lot more.
I think is weird.
Why
But
is
that's
that weird?
fine.
Hitler drank water.
well, what's an example?
So
of a
why
turf
are
take
you
you'd agree
finding
with Mary?
commonalities with Hitler?
I'm not finding commonalities with Hitler. I agree with turfs on some
You
things.
compared turfs to Hitler.
No, do you
That's not
not know what
what
Hitler
happened.
drank
No?
water means? Fuck me,
It's-
dude.
No, I don't know that phrase.
So Aiko,
I don't
what's-
know that phrase.
Mary's point here, Aiko,
Mhm.
is that just because you share some similarities with a person or a group doesn't mean that you agree with everything they do. Like in the
Yeah,
same way that
obviously.
Hitler drank water, but you also drink water. Mary might have some similar agreements with TERFs, but doesn't mean that she identifies or agrees with everything that TERFs say or do.
I think that if you agree with turfs on trans issues, then isn't that fundamentally turf beliefs?
No, that's black
No?
and white thinking, which is why I asked if you're autistic.
Okay.
This actually requires a great deal of nuance to understand the right way
Well,
forward. I'm a
I'm
trans person trying to see the nuance in there. Some things are right on one side,
I
some
mean,
things are right on the
for
other
me,
side.
it looks
I
like
think
you
there needs to be some
enjoy
kind of compromise.
tearing down
I
other
explained all
trans
this.
people unless they're rapists and
Tearing down
abusers.
trans, like, what are you talking about? I disagree with
I mean,
people, so I
you find the
express it.
worst. You find the worst one. You find the most AGP argument for AGP. If there's anyone with a case for being called AGP, it'd be Firebat. So you find the freak and you befriend them instead
I don't
of
befriend Firebat.
you. Literally did. You sent secret DMs begging her
Secret?
to not.
They weren't secret.
Uh,
They were anything
you
but secret. They've been
you
everywhere now.
begged for them multiple times to not share this at the beginning and
Yeah,
at
I
the
wonder
end
what
because you are
Firebat's gonna
stupid
do.
enough to
I
think
wonder
that
what.
I know that you were going to go down
wonder
this
what Firebat's gonna do
narrative.
if you say,
We
"Please don't
called
leak
this
it." Wow.
already. We called this already, but I listened to the whole thing, even the parts that weren't in the screenshots, okay? I saw everything you said, and
Yeah.
that is cope. You did not, this was clearly not something you thought would be leaked, and now you're just trying to giga chat it, but it's not working.
Okay, so you
No
can't
one buys
intuit
it.
whether someone means when they say something, but you can intuit that there's no way that I could have known that Firebat, who has leaked shit previously, would leak shit again. Okay, sure. You can think what you
You
want, mate. I
should
don't
have
care.
known. You should.
You would
think.
You think that if anyone agrees with the turf on anything
So-
to do with trans, then they're evil. So I don't know, man.
I didn't say that they're evil.
What are you saying then?
They said that they were a TERF. They were saying you were a
Yeah,
TERF.
turf.
for
So if you
doing
think
that.
turfs are evil, then you would think that it's evil. But if you don't think turfs
No,
are
it's
evil,
not evil to agree on the odd thing. That's what Hitler drank water means.
What's an example,
Fuck me,
Mary,
man.
of something you
You're
agree
from
with
Twitch
TERFs
Paul.
on?
How do you not know this shit?
listen,
Sorry.
listen.
No, what was
I
Paris
know
saying?
that
wanna
this
hear
is
Paris.
so.
What's an example,
Go ahead.
Mary, of something you agree with TERFs on, like with regards to trans stuff, obviously? What's something you agree with TERFs on?
I think that some women's spaces should be female only, such as prisons.
What are your thoughts on that, Aiko?
I think that prisons should be safe and there shouldn't be rape in them in general. I think prisons you should not be going to a prison with the expectation that you'll be assaulted. I know that's the case. I don't have an answer for prisons. I think the prison system is fucked overall. And I
Okay.
guess it depends
So
on the
it's okay for me to
person.
agree with that turf take then.
Hmm?
So it's okay for me to agree with that turf take then. It's not like you have a better answer. You're saying you don't
That's
really know,
not
which is fine. by the way.
prisons is different. Prisons is not a it's like, for instance, like something like a
Oh,
bachelor.
so
Like
if
you're
you share
talking
a
about
turf take, it
criminals.
depends.
Right.
Prison, you're
So-
talking about potentially violent criminals. That would have to be like I'm unsure what the circumstances is, and I'm not going to say that I know what's right to do when I don't know
So-
how it even functions.
So do you think therefore that trans women in general, I think we should try and treat trans women like women in society. It seems to help them. Do
Yeah.
you agree that there are certain things, there are certain areas of society where maybe they do actually have to be treated as males according to their sex rather than their gender, even if very specific things like prisons?
Like, give me another example of something.
So prisons or like rape shelters or something like that.
Rape
Places where-
shelters? No. Why
Well,
a
women-
rape
women's
shelter?
shelters,
If you are a rape
like
victim,
abuse shelters. Hmm.
like what? If you're raped and you're a trans woman, you can't go to the same rape shelter for women? I think that's ridiculous.
Why? What if they resemble a man?
Why-
What if that
yeah.
re-traumatizes a woman? Why can't they make
These
alternative
are
arrangements
people
for the
who
male
need.
people?
These are just people who need support.
Where do men go?
I don't. If there's probably a men's support. I don't know what the
Sometimes
network
there's
is in
not.
different. Sometimes there's not. Well then,
Sometimes there's only facilities for DV or rape for women because of the statistics. So
okay.
occasionally you'll get someone that can't go to the women's. They still need help. And in the UK, certainly, like say DV shelters, because I looked at this semi-recently. Sometimes there are only facilities for women. That doesn't mean you should let trans women in. And legally, they need to be provided something regardless.
Mm-hmm. So what do they do for men?
They have to find another solution. Maybe if it's DV, maybe they put them up in a hotel or something like that. Find somewhere for that person to go that they'll be safe. They just can't go in with the women because that might re-traumatize women. And
What, like you mean
re-traumatizing someone is the last thing you wanna do.
living, like in a living situation, like going to
Or like-
stay
Like in
somewhere?
a shelter.
Oh, we're talking
in a-
about
Yeah,
DV
like a
shelter.
shelter would be somewhere that you would like stay for an extended period of time while you're in between, solving the situation. So
Trans
what Marychu
women,
was
I
saying
think
is that-
absolutely are. There's no reason why trans women shouldn't be able to be a part of that. If they reject men
What if they resemble
overall,
a
then
man?
I'm sorry.
What if they resemble a man and it re-traumatizes a woman who needs to be kept away from all men right now?
If they resemble a man, I mean, what
Yes.
does that mean?
yeah,
What does that mean, resembling a
are
man?
It means
Cloggable.
exactly what you think it means. It means they resemble a man.
But to what
yeah, it means that
extent?
like when
Like,
it's when the woman in
To
the
enough
DV
an
shelter
extent, you
would
look
see
at them
them.
and like, that's a man.
no, I'm sorry. What? Say that again. Perry was talking.
Right, go ahead, Mary.
Oh, resembling a man to the point where you look at them and say, that's a man.
I mean, if it's just someone that doesn't even claim that they're a woman, they just walk in, they
No,
just say
So we're talking about a trans woman.
a trans
so, like,
woman
you know,
just looking like a man with a beard, walking in saying, "I'm a
Right.
woman. Let me be with the raped women."
But what if they're genuinely trans-identified? They just don't resemble a woman.
That's fine. I literally don't know. I don't know what the facilities
That's
are
fine.
set up. Do they have are they sharing all these spaces? I have no idea.
Well, then the point is, occasionally we can't really just treat everyone.
Okay,
as
what
per
about
their
trans
stated
men?
gender.
Do you think trans men should be able to go to those rape shelters?
If there's a chance they might re-traumatize someone, potentially not.
Okay.
I don't think passing trans men should use women's toilets. 'Cause
Then that's
it'll
not
potentially
sex
make women
based. That's
uncomfortable.
gender based. That's division
That's
of gender.
different. Yeah, but we take things in different, like, I specifically said trans women for a reason. I think that there
Okay.
are certain areas where trans women, for the vast majority of cases in the vast majority of areas of society, I think we can treat trans women like women and that's absolutely fine. I think there are specific things where you kind of have to go by sex. I think sometimes one matters more and sometimes the other matters more. For sports, for example, I think that should be sex-based.
Like I said, I don't know about sports. I don't care about sports. I don't think obviously sports
Yeah,
aren't
so it's
fair,
okay
and I
then
don't
if
know how you
I-
would. I have no idea what this. They could potentially reconfigure things based on physicality, but I have no idea. It's not my. I'm not going to say what someone should do when I don't know anything about
Yeah.
that entire thing.
So it's okay. So it's okay, therefore, then to agree with TERFs on that specific point, then, because you don't really have an answer yourself, which again is fine.
I don't have an
I
answer.
respect
It's
people
not the
saying, "I don't
difference
know."
that it's not that I don't think that it needs to be separated by the sexes. I don't think
So
I
you
wouldn't.
do have an answer.
Yeah, I don't think that that should be the default. I think that
Why?
that's how it is, and I think there's different.
It is now, yeah.
The difference is between like what would be ideal versus what things are now and where to move towards. I don't know where someone could move towards in the sports field. I don't know I don't know anything about sports. But what I'm saying is
Then why do you think it
fundamentally
shouldn't
from a
be
moral
sex-based?
perspective, I don't think that it should be based on just biological sex.
Isn't it immoral for a male person to enter a women's sport and win everything when they could have been in the men's sports? Isn't that immoral?
I don't think that's a regular problem.
It doesn't matter whether it's a regular problem. We're talking about like what is moral. We're talking about conceptual shit now.
Like I said, I don't know. I'm not certain about that kind of stuff.
You're taking positions, and then when I try and get into it, you're saying, actually, well, I don't know, and I don't care.
Because I'm not going to, like I already said, I don't know anything about sports, and I'm not going to claim.
So why should?
Well, I'm thinking more. Okay, bathroom stuff. I saw you talk about bathroom stuff with Katie Neves. So you were saying that. Okay, so from what I saw, it is now a thing that even private bathrooms, you have to use the one that goes with your sex at birth, right? I think that's what's
not in the UK.
I thought that was like a new thing that was being rolled out.
What happened in the UK was there was a Supreme Court decision that clarified the Equality Act that meant that when they say woman, what they mean is a adult human female. There's not been any guidance. There's no rules about using specific bathrooms. It's down to it's a trespass thing. It's a civil matter. It's down to the person that owns it.
Okay.
So if a business owner says, I want trans people in my women's bathroom, then that's their choice. It's just that a woman could complain and potentially get some kind of legal action because they're not guaranteed a single sex space where lawfully they probably should be.
Okay. I'm uncertain. Like I said, I don't live in the UK. I'm uncertain about, I recently saw someone talk about that. But I can't commit to that. So, okay. So, but do you think, so what do you think that people ought to do when it comes to bathrooms then?
I think people should be aware of how they look. I think people should, as much as possible, go in the bathroom that they resemble the best. I think that a passing trans man would probably make women uncomfortable. I think that a passing trans woman, they're not going to cause any kind of harm. And the main kind of harm I'm really worried about is like discomfort, because assaults and stuff are extremely rare,
Okay. So what about public bathrooms? Public bathrooms you have to use based on sex, right?
No, I have exactly the same take. I thought I was answering that question, to be honest.
Oh, but okay. But the laws are...
There's no laws.
There's no laws?
It's trespass. It's a civil matter.
Okay, but that's the rule, though. Even if you aren't going to be like criminally liable, it's a rule, right?
There's no rule about it, no. It's just that one says women and one says men.
Yeah. It would be a harassment case, like Mary, I think, mentioned earlier, right?
Trespass.
Yeah, trespass, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a civil matter. It's not legal.
Okay, so people can sue a business then if someone who doesn't quite pass enough, I guess, if someone uses a bathroom and someone else thinks that they don't pass enough?
No. What can happen is if a male person is using a woman's restroom or bathroom, whatever, and a woman isn't happy about that because they're not being guaranteed their single sex space, which they ought have the right to per the law, they can raise a legal case about it. What would probably happen is they'd had to have talked to like the business first and actually, made some kind of effort to see if they're enforcing this kind of thing or not. So if you just go and complain because you saw what you think is a trans person, it probably won't get you very far.
Okay, but fundamentally though, that could be the case. If someone could be passing enough. Okay, so like first, like you, when you go out into the world, when you use bathrooms, what are your considerations? Do you feel like you're safe to go into the women's bathroom? Are you ever concerned about that?
I don't use women's spaces anymore. I used to.
Okay, and you feel safe in men's spaces?
The specific ones I use, yes. I don't really use like public facilities. Like there's a couple of places we go out to, and it's like the bathroom's always empty and stuff, so it's fine.
Okay, so you're bending your life in order to not get in trouble for using the bathroom.
No, not really.
It's
not
you are.
inconvenient to me whatsoever.
Yeah, to you, it's not inconvenient to you, but you're in a specific situation. Yeah, exactly. So, but for other people out there that don't have as many options, that are in different that don't have the same kind, like that live in a more like conservative place where people actually care about it a lot more. People who, I guess it depends on a circumstance where you don't have like reliable places you can go and use the bathroom. Like, if you didn't have anywhere safe, like if you didn't feel comfortable in any particular business to use the bathroom, what would you do? If you went to a new place, you went to a town you don't know anywhere. I'm sorry?
Pee first and then go out.
And if you have to pee again, are you going to pee outside?
I don't know, man.
You're going to pee in the bushes?
There's plenty of places that have like gender neutral toilets. If I have to risk it in the men's, I mean, whether I feel safe or not is neither here nor there.
It does, because that's really what my overall point is. I think that people should use the bathrooms that they feel like, you know, if you're trans, if you feel like more safe, like it works, like, you know,
male
more comfortable.
Hide in the women's if they're unsafe, and it doesn't matter if the women feel unsafe with those people being in there.
There's never been a circumstance when, if you're just a regular person, you're not a fucking predator, you're just a regular trans person, regular trans woman going into the bathroom, there's never been a fucking problem with it. That was coming from them.
There's never been, what do you mean that's never been a problem?
That's not a fundamental problem.
Well, you should talk to more women about that, because I'm not a woman, ultimately. There are women that are uncomfortable with it.
I'm a woman, and those people, it doesn't. Oh yeah, you've been investigating me.
It's called a joke. It's called a joke.
I see.
All
I
right,
see.
okay.
So funny. But anyway, so what I'm saying is that it's not you don't need to be riding for woman, female only spaces. Okay? We don't need you to defend us.
Well, in terms of bathrooms,
I'm not defending you, I'm giving my opinions.
Marychu, earlier you mentioned that you understand it in terms of like prisons and such, right? So you mean like in general?
What? Wait, in general what?
Because you're saying, like,
when it comes to bathrooms, I think that Marychu should be able
Mm-hmm.
to pee in women's rooms and it not be a problem. I think that she should be able to pee in any woman's room she wants.
Why does it matter?
Because what if you have to pee in the bushes? That's a crime. You can get arrested.
Why is it women's or bushes?
I mean, you can use the men's room. You were saying that you were saying that you mostly pee in safe places that you know that are okay or that have gender neutral bathrooms. You have it mapped out for you. You know, you have your routine. Okay, you have your routine.
You read so much into what I say. I'm just saying I only ever really go out to certain places. That's just happenstance. That's not me thinking in advance. If I have to use a men's toilet, I use a men's toilet. I just get on with it. Someone might look at me funny. Someone might be like, what are you doing there? Okay, I'm male, you know. Very simple. It's not difficult.
Don't you think that that could be dangerous for some people in a less, I don't want to say
not really.
accepting,
Toilet incidents are like exceptionally rare. That goes for everyone.
What more?
That goes for trans people when people pretend that we're like raping people left, right, and center in toilets. That goes for like men's rooms, where we think that any trans woman that sets foot anywhere near a man's toilet is going to get the shit kicked out of them. It's exaggerated on both sides. It's just not as much of a problem as we think.
I wouldn't be comfortable going in the men's room.
Sorry?
I wouldn't feel comfortable going into a public men's room.
Lots of women do. You ever been to a place where the women's fucking queue is like 10 times as long?
Oh, well, yes, obviously that. But there are people around. If there are any predators around, like it will be very obvious. You know, if it's a crowded situation. But if there's not that many people, if you go in, you know, when you strategize for safety, I don't
strategize, to be clear.
You don't strategize to be safe? Well, then that's...
No, I don't need to. I just go around, I be myself. I don't get shit anymore.
Well,
people are way less transphobic in the street to me than they used to. It's because there's more trans people around, I think.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you have a better experience then.
Yeah. I think lots of people don't have as bad experiences as they're saying. I think lots of people internalize all this like governmental shit where there's this, that, and the other going on and these debates going on. But actually in their communities and shit, I think most of them get on okay. I'm not saying nothing happens.
Okay, so you just think that they're making it...
trans people, if they go out of their houses, they're going to get like stabbed and stuff. Like, it certainly isn't the case here.
Well, that's not... No, that's not... No
one
one's talking about being stabbed or anything. It's just, you know, putting yourself in circumstances that are not going to necessarily be as safe for you.
What am I doing that's not going to be as safe for me?
Not you. I
And why
mean
is it
other
my
people.
safety
Other
purely that
people.
matters?
Other. I'm talking about other trans women.
Should those
and their
other people
safety.
disregard women's feelings of safety by using their bathrooms when they don't pass?
I think that women who are afraid of trans women just being around them, I think that they need to be exposed to more people who are just normal people who are trans
I think
and
you
not
need
have
to
it
be
be
exposed to
fear-mongered
more
about.
people with gender critical beliefs and actually talk to them, because I
don't
don't think you
care.
understand them.
I don't
You don't
care.
care?
I don't
Couldn't
respect
you-
You don't
gender
talk about
critical
this issue because you
people.
don't care about both sides.
I
So, Aiko, couldn't you
What?
No one
apply
asked
the
you, you're not
same
I
even
logic?
disagree. Wait, go ahead, Perry.
No, Aiko, couldn't you apply the same logic to trans people then? If you're saying that like women that are afraid of the trans women, they just need to get out more and experience stuff. Couldn't you apply it to trans women that are afraid that they just need to go out and experience stuff more to realize it's not as big of a deal?
It can be absolutely a big deal. It can be.
Right, but why
It
not for
is
the woman then?
the difference between like discomfort that a woman could feel if they're not used to seeing any trans women around is not the same kind of like potential danger. Like me being 5 foot, like walking around New York City by myself at all hours of the night, all over the place. I have to strategize for where I'm going to be around people. Being aware of not putting myself in situations to the best of my ability where I'd be like more vulnerable. And so I think that a lot of people do have to strategize in that way. And like I don't want to bring up Femias, but when you were talking about her going like boy mode and people should just be like full time and put themselves out there no matter what. Like I think that every individual person has to look out for their own safety. And the fact is that these trans women may be making a woman feel uncomfortable by being seen aren't a threat in the way that the people around that person would potentially pose to them.
But those women don't know that. Like, say you have like trauma, say you were physically assaulted in a bathroom or something by a male person. You're
Well,
in another
then they
bathroom,
really
you see a male person
should go to
come in, it might
therapy.
just set feelings off.
Go to therapy. I don't think people's rights
You have
should
no
be
empathy,
based
do you?
on.
You have no empathy.
Well,
you should talk
could-
to other
you
women
could say
about this.
that.
Talk
You
to
could say
some
that.
women who are uncomfortable about this kind of thing. Actually understand how people
Yeah,
feel.
no,
It's so cringe.
yes, no, I do.
I'm not
I
even female
understand, and
and I
I
get it.
disagree. Yes, I understand. And
Apparently
I
not.
disagree. I disagree. We
Apparently
fundamentally
not.
disagree, and that's fine.
Why is it that you disagree, Aiko?
Why
is
is
there
that I
a-
disagree with what? What
The way
part?
that women feel, I guess, in this case, the fear that women
I think that
feel.
it comes from ignorance. I grew up in like an evangelical bubble for the first 15 years of my life. I didn't know anything about anything. And so discovering the world where I was told these people are going to hell and they're wrong and fundamentally what they do is evil, and trying, like, it never made sense to me. So I had to kind of deconstruct all of the things that I was told. And like I've come to conclusions myself that are my personal opinion. And yeah, that's why I'm at where I'm at. I think that's
you need
fine.
to talk to women that disagree with you. I think you should actually have
I-
these kind of conversations and stop writing them off as bigots or ignorant or whatever. Because I think you're ignorant.
I think
of
it
some
is.
of their
No, I think
experiences.
it is ignorant, because don't you
Then talk
think?
to some of
Don't
those
you
people
think?
about that.
Okay, don't you think that if these women were more used to like trans women just being around, being people, being like regular women around them, that maybe it wouldn't be as much of a problem. Maybe they
That's
wouldn't
not
be.
bearing out.
Why not?
Because we keep hearing about these like extremely male looking like trans people using certain spaces they probably shouldn't be, and women getting uncomfortable about it. There's more trans people than ever.
Outliers potentially. How many people? How much does this
You're
happen?
hand waving what I'm saying. Just anything that I say, you just get to hand
Okay,
wave. You
well,
need to talk to
individual-
other
To be
women about
fair,
this kind of
To
stuff.
be fair, Mary, earlier weren't you saying that bathroom incidents are, such a statistical anomaly, and wouldn't you say that that's in a way hand waving? So how come now, when you're doing the same thing, sort of, you bring up
I don't
individual
think-
incidents?
I don't think I
that's,
hand waved anything.
Right. Well,
What
no.
I
What I'm
was trying
saying
to
is
say-
that. Well, it seems like you were saying that's like a rarity, right? Earlier.
Yeah.
But now when
So
it comes
what
to
I
these,
say-
like.
So what I say is, what matters most is like women's discomfort rather than women being at risk of being attacked. That's what the point there was.
I think discomfort
Right.
comes from ignorance. That's my
That's
opinion.
completely untrue.
Why? You don't think that's
Well,
real?
if
You
someone's
don't think that's
traumatized, then it's not ignorance, it's trauma, for example. There's lots of
if
reasons why
someone's
women might be uncomfortable.
traumatized? What traumatized about being around?
Being around men in closed spaces, and maybe don't see that trans woman as a trans woman, but just see them as a man. Because if you don't pass, then people are just going to see you as a man, not a trans
That's
woman.
something that
And
needs.
the point of transitioning is that people know you as the other sex, even though you're not. That's how you become a
right.
woman.
That's okay. That's your opinion. I
No,
think
it's true.
that's how you. So you have the ultimate path to becoming a woman and how you integrate as a woman in society.
I didn't. Not me. That is what transgender refers to. You can't change your sex. What you can do is take on gendered traits that mean that when people look at you, in their heads, that's a woman. So in a way, at least in some versions of reality, you are a woman, not a man. That's the point of being trans. It's not just calling yourself a thing. It's actually changing gender in the eyes of other people.
I mean,
That's
but
what the
that doesn't
transition is.
work
It's
for
not changing
everyone,
sex.
does it? There are
Well,
people
then maybe
who
they're not
will
trans.
never.
Maybe they need to do something else.
Are you saying
Maybe
that
they're
if someone
non-binary.
can't
Maybe they're
pass
queer.
enough, they're not trans? Like if they're physically incapable of passing enough,
It's not that they're
no
not
matter how.
trans. It's not that they're not trans. It's that their transition isn't as successful if people are still seeing them as a man when they're male.
Do you think that anyone ever sees you that way, like out and about in the world, ever?
People
Ever.
see a mixture, probably.
Okay, then do you think that the way that the world perceives you, if you look woman enough, is how you should be treated just by outside opinions based off of fear-mongering that's been going on, moral panic for years and years and
You're
years?
adding all this stuff in. Like, ask the question again, but like normally.
What? Wait, what? Did you not
Fear-mongering,
understand?
all this shit, I don't care. Ask the question normally.
I just...
You're
what was that?
assuming that people think a certain way based on fear-mongering and stuff.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
interested
I
in that
mean,
assumption.
yes. No, yes.
I don't
I
read
mean,
minds, I don't
it
claim to.
literally is. I mean, I understand.
No, it's not.
Like,
Might be on some
yeah,
cases.
okay.
You're just intuiting what people think, but you can't intuit that I was being serious or not serious.
I
earlier, so I don't
understand
care.
what people like. I understand the fear mongering that goes on. I've seen plenty
you
of it.
do.
I've heard. I grew up on like Fox News and Rush Limbaugh and all of that
Yeah, and
stuff.
you've overcorrected. And you've overcorrected.
I've overcorrected. I mean, that's
Yes.
you can think that if you want. It like you could think that maybe
It's
I'm a
true.
little bit
It's obvious.
little bit more intense about it because of like my background, and I think that's fine.
Yeah, so you've overcorrected.
I mean, you can think that I overcorrected. You can if
It's
that
very
I'm.
apparent. I'm intuiting.
But that's your standard. That's your opinion. That's fine.
Yes, that is my opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
what
the point of
I'm
why I said
saying
it.
though is that I don't think that people who look at you on the street and clock you, I don't think that those people who are afraid of trans women should be able to decide what your rights are. That's my opinion.
They're not. They can't. That's the government.
They
can
these
vote for a
people
different government.
influence the This is
Right.
they are
But I
the
think
They're not
Akko's point
deciding my
is
rights.
that those people can have like a democratic sway over the government's
life.
actions, right?
That's just it. That's
Uh-huh.
how it is. That's fine.
what. So no one should engage in politics or trying to make legislation more
Are you
more protective
seriously
of
thinking
people's
that
rights.
That's what I said. Do
No,
you
I'm
seriously
asking.
think in your
I'm
heart of
asking.
hearts?
You can say
Why?
that that's not
Why
what
are you asking
mean.
me that? Why are you asking that? That's
That
the
was
stupidest
my
question I've heard
next.
in my life.
Okay.
If you're
tell
going
me.
to start saying, okay, so do you think this completely ridiculous, extreme version of what you're saying, just assume the answer is no and then ask me a sensible question that's worth answering.
Why would I? You won't even answer if you meant your apology. Come on.
Yeah, because I don't need to tell you.
Then what?
We can argue about that for half an hour again. It's dog shit content, but I don't mind. I mean, you lot watch Firebat. You're no stranger to coal, right?
So I'm thinking. I'm trying to think. I mean, we disagree on these things. You think I overcorrected.
Yeah.
I think that you are, maybe overcorrecting in another direction.
I think I have previously. I think I'm kind of coming back, actually. If you watch more of my stuff, and I mean this sincerely, like if you watch some of my more recent stuff, it's a real mixture of things.
You mean like it's
And I
less
do actually have quite a
extreme?
few trans positive. Excuse me. I do actually have quite a few like trans positive takes that I think are being completely ignored.
Okay.
And part of that is because you're picking and choosing. I want to watch this thing that's specifically critical. And you're not looking at the wider picture and not understanding that my worldview or whatever is made up of a lot of different things. And you're not going to get that from watching a single thing that you're going to find offensive. And in fact, I think you've turned your brain off because you've watched that. I think it's kind of set into motion that now you dislike me, and now everything I say is going to be through that lens of this is a bad person. So I think fundamentally this whole thing is built on like sand. It's a pretty worthless conversand, to be honest. Although at least we got to get into some stuff. You know, I appreciate that, to be honest.
Yeah.
We did have a bit of a good discussion for a while.
Yeah. And I appreciate you talking to me. I appreciate Perry. Even though Perry's not the most unbiased, I appreciate Perry too. I mean, if I'm gonna look at someone's content, I wanna look at the more interesting stuff. So are you saying that like you have become more like that's not representative of what you do now, or less representative?
I don't know how representative any one video is, I guess. And obviously when I said, you know, when I chose a video and sent it, that was just one that had a lot of like simple like trans takes, like kind of stated. It didn't really matter what the conceit of the video was at that point. It's just I state a lot of stuff in a very basic and easy kind of way.
Yeah, but that, like,
no
again,
need for, like, additional context.
It was about debating a cis man that was like anti-trans. Like I wanted to see you like talk about like a trans woman, because that's what, you know, I've heard.
Well, there's
you
lots
have
of videos you could have chosen that weren't that one. So
that's what I saw.
I wouldn't judge
the
me
title,
based on one video.
The title caught my interest, and so I
know,
took a look.
Because you wanted something to be offended by, because you already don't like me.
I mean, I thought it was out of pocket when I saw you say this stuff to Femia, so that I wanted to know more about that. I mean, like I said, the history.
Like you got involved with not knowing the
history doesn't
situation.
matter. It could be replace Femias with anything else. You should obviously be able to own the things that you say, regardless of who's involved.
Well, it does seem, Aiko, like Mary does agree. She already apologized, and it seems to be the case.
She did.
That stuff that she was saying about. Okay, it seems to be the case. The stuff that she said about Fabio's stuff that like fits within her worldview. The stuff about, you know, if you don't go out and being a crossdresser, you've already hashed it out. And if you think she was being mean to Fabio's, fair enough, I guess. Yeah.
Again, if you want to bring up the apology again, Perry, you can't use that as a point. Okay. You can't use the apology as a point when we don't even know if it is apology. No, because you haven't finished. Because you refuse to say. You refuse to stand on business.
Why do you need me to say?
Because I'd like to see an example of you standing on business behind something very simple that you said just yesterday. It's very clear cut. Because I want to see if you actually will, and you aren't.
Yeah, because I don't feel obliged to, and it's funnier to fuck with you by making you ask the same question 25,000 times.
It's interesting. I'm sure that this is how it's going to be received
when a woman
overall.
Says interesting. Oh no, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble.
All right, hey, if you you don't want to stand by something that you said, that's your prerogative. That is what you're going.
I'll stand by it. Yeah. I just don't want it from you.
It's not repeating.
I don't think you're genuine. Why should I answer if I'm genuine?
I just wanted you to say yes or no. If you lie, it's up to that's your problem. Because you should be able to say if you meant something that you said yesterday. Because it would be ridiculous if you didn't.
Why should I prove it to you?
You're not just talking to me. You did this publicly.
Then they can ask me. Good. Anyone who's sincerely interested
why should anyone go to, like, who cares about going to you? It's not like
you did. You're here.
No, I'm here because Perry asked me to.
You've been going on about this for fucking ages.
Perry asked me to.
We get the idea with regards to whether or not someone should believe that. We get the idea. I think we all get the idea there. There's one thing that we didn't discuss here. I don't know if you guys really care about the Firebat stuff anymore. Marychu, you're saying that you were just like fucking with Firebat when you send that like message or whatever. Is that what you were saying?
Well, it's complicated, but I'm realizing that I actually have quite a lot of control over certain other people's content. And so if I want to I can use someone like that as a mouthpiece, you know?
Wait, what?
Oh.
Control over people's... What do you mean? Elaborate.
It seems like what Mary is saying, Geico, is that she wanted you to cover the statement she made to Firebat. And so she just messaged Firebat out.
10D chess.
Knowing Firebat would leak.
Okay, yes, that's
Knowing
what,
that you would have to engage
that's what
with those
happened,
questions.
yes. Definitely, yes. I'm sure everyone, all of us believe that, I'm sure. If that's your story though. Like that's really your story. Is that true though? Did what Perry just say? Is that representative?
Bro, why do you need everything confirming like this? Why can't you just use your fucking brain and come up with an idea?
I have ideas. I'm asking you what's in your head, and you can't be honest for some reason.
I can be honest. I'm just choosing not to.
Okay, exactly. You are choosing not to. You are choosing not to be, and I think that says a lot about a person.
Why don't you stop doing like psycho streams on me? Just listen to some of my takes and actually come to me with a decent conversation, and I'll answer things honestly.
I'm only having this because
of
Perry. I'm only doing this because of Perry. And
yeah, you're moving on from Marychu after this. We get
Perry's sake. Perry really needs to know whether I was being serious about my apology to Femi or not.
You apologize in front of President Sunday and everyone that watched. Yes, everyone. So this is you saying that you refuse to confirm if you meant it or not. What you just said yesterday.
Why do I have to confirm whether I meant it or not?
Because do you lie? Are you willing to just say shit? That's what I want to know.
You'll never know.
Okay, fine. Then I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'll just think less of you, and that's fine.
Don't.
Yeah,
good.
That's fine.
Go find some other rapist to cover instead of swing out about my ass the whole time. I ain't never raped anyone.
I mean, why are you defending Firebat so much?
Firebat, he's a fucking freak. Maybe he is a rapist, and if so, he should go to the fucking police. You people should
you called it actually. You said if you did neglect consent to not do it anymore. You called it neglecting consent, and I find that quite disturbing.
Well, how would you word it, Aiko?
Not getting consent, not not accepting or I'm sorry. Hold on. Hold on. Not receiving consent. It's not neglecting is like when you pushing Mary, calm down. It's okay. Calm down. Neglecting consent is not a thing. Neglecting is when you forget to feed your child. Can I finish? Perry, can I finish? Neglecting consent.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
I'll wait.
No, I'm waiting for you.
She's there. She's listening.
Okay.
I can see what you were going to say.
Okay.
When
you neglect something, you neglect a child by not feeding it. You neglect. It's when you recklessly let something go uncared for. Firebat pushed past pushed past consent. That's not neglect. Okay, yeah, okay. There you go.
I don't care about your tone policing. I don't care about the tiny little bits of. I use words that I'm probably using them on a slant all the time because I just use the word that comes to my mouth.
So it just doesn't. So you were wrong. You used the wrong word. Then you would have phrased it differently.
That way.
You would phrase it differently.
If you're that desperate for a W that you'll go with, I used a slightly downplaying.
I'm just asking you.
Then
downplaying word. Interesting. Why did you use a downplaying word then?
Well, I'm saying
you consider it a downplaying.
Okay. Fine. Why do you care so much what I worded every individual word?
I'm literally asking.
Why don't you do something? Why don't you go to the police with the evidence you've got?
Why would I go to the
every
police?
Fucking day? This guy's a rapist. This guy's a rapist. So do something about it. Fucking do something about
honestly, would we still be going? Listen,
you don't.
I wouldn't go to the police about someone.
Do something about it.
I mean,
Mary, could you just let
you obviously did something about it. You went and you supported the rapist, so that's a choice.
That's not true.
I don't need to take action. I'm here. I'm observing.
Why is it, Psycho? If you believe that a rape occurred, that you do not have to take action?
Because I support. Well, the reason why we know about the rape in the first place is because I was watching a while ago Firebat and Tanya's one of their uploads, and Firebat brought up the rape. Seraphe was in my chat and said, "Oh wow, I can't believe that he would. I never thought he'd bring that up." And so she tells us about it. That's how we know. So Seraphe,
Then do something
she's the
about
one.
it.
Why would I
Right.
do something about it? Seraphe is
Then stop going on about it. It doesn't matter then.
why?
But you don't care that much.
Why?
You don't want to see him face justice? If he's done it, I would love to see him face justice. I hope he gets fucking 100 years if he did something worth it. Fuck that guy.
if he
I don't
did,
care about
okay.
him.
What do you? So you think that if he did what he's accused of doing, he should go to jail for 100 years? Do you think that
If
what's
he has
described?
done things that,
It,
if
what
he's done
described?
something that warrants that,
No, not warrants that, but based on the accusations, do you think he should go to jail for 100 years?
but I'm saying
If they
he
were
should
true?
actually go to jail if he's a rapist. Yes.
No,
It doesn't have to be 100
if
years.
the allegations, because
Right.
you are not, I know that you think that maybe calling him a rapist
You don't
is
know
too
anything about what I
extreme.
think. I wouldn't. You don't know anything about what I think, so I think you should just focus on what you do know.
You know, Mary, I do want to ask you though about your like line of reasoning here. So, do you really think that if anybody is covering, you know, a rapist or somebody that's raped, especially in the case of Firebat, something that happened 10 years ago, do you believe that they actually do need to, you know, put up or shut up and go to the authorities? Do you really think that's like a standard?
I think you can make your point, and I think you can expose things, but then when it becomes just over and over, this person's a rapist, it becomes pointless, and it kind of seems like people are profiting off of being the good guy who's calling out the rapist while not actually doing anything about it. That's how it comes off to me. Because you'll get paid for this shit, I know. Why aren't those donors going to like fucking rape shelters? Why aren't any of you working in a fucking rape center, you know? You care about rape that much? Why don't you talk about anyone else that does rapes?
I
don't know what the
talk
rapist is. Is
about
that what you're talking
lots
to
of
me right now?
rapists, actually. I talk about too
Okay,
many
then talk about
rapists.
some more.
When I started talking about Firebat, I didn't know that they were a rapist. I was
Then find some
happy to
other
have
rapists to
a
talk about them
lolcow
too.
that wasn't a rapist, and then it turned out
Yeah,
that
it's all
he
about
is.
the lolcow shit. That's my point. It's all about the lolcow shit. It's not about the rape. The rape is just an added bonus where you get to moralize this guy.
No, I actually
and
think
get
it's
paid
pretty
for it, but
fucking
you don't actually do
disgusting.
anything about the
I
issues. You
actually
don't actually
think,
do anything about rape.
aside from the rape, the fact that Firebat has confessed to punching, headbutting their pregnant wife, slapping Seraphe.
When she wasn't pregnant, but yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine then. So with and the past history of violence, going to juvie twice for assaulting their foster family members. This
Yeah,
person
they've
with
got
a
fucking
history of
issues.
violence. Yeah. So what I'm confused by is why you would want to lend your support to someone like that.
That assumes that I am lending my
You-
support to that
You
person.
sent a supportive message with life advice.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, so it must have been.
You
meant as
said
that then,
what they
okay.
should, what Firebat
Suddenly you
should
can
be
intuit
doing,
again.
and how talking shit about how Trough Stream's terrible and blah blah
They
blah.
are terrible.
That's fine. That's your opinion.
It's true.
Yeah. So, but you choose the side of Firebat. That's
didn't
what you
choose
do.
the side.
I'm sorry.
How many names have I
Firebat.
called Firebat? How
Firebat.
many times have I called him a fucking wretch and a fucking freak and a
Firebat is
disgusting
literally
person?
watching your videos and taking your points. Firebat
don't
now
care.
says that he said that he raped under stress because you said that.
I never said shit about that.
Yes, you did.
No, I
You
didn't.
said that the confession didn't.
You're a liar.
What? I'm sorry.
You're a liar.
Okay. So you never said that.
Never said what?
Wait,
That they
hold
raped
on.
under stress, I suppose.
Never said
Yeah.
that.
What? That they said that. Okay. So you never said that what Firebat said could have been said under stress or duress or something like, or pressure or something like that, and therefore not be 100% something you could rely on as a
It's a
confession.
possibility.
Lots of things are possibilities.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then
But
open
when
your
you
mind.
go out of your way to say, apropos of nothing, just
What does going out
bringing
of
it
my way
up,
mean?
taking upon yourself to go talk to Firebat, to do streams talking about how it's not enough of an admission because it was under stress.
my
Firebat
opinion.
taking that on.
I didn't say it was under stress. It's a possibility. I don't know what the
Yeah.
truth is.
Okay.
That's why I don't
Obviously,
pretend that I know what
no
the
one
truth
knows.
is. It's very
Yes,
simple.
but when you bring it up, and you're the only one who said that, no one else said that, and then Firebat saw you say that, and Firebat started saying that. So
So what?
you brought up the concept. So you're not saying it's 100% true, but you introduced this, and as a result,
So what?
Firebat. I'm saying
So
that's
what?
weird. That's very strange. Very strange.
You're weird. Do I care about
Yeah.
that? So why do you care about this?
I
Well,
think it's
Aiko, you
pretty
don't just think
disturbing.
it's weird.
I
It
think it's
seems like it, like,
gross.
you
I think
think
it's
it's a problem.
the
disgusting.
stupidest fucking shit I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
I can get you fucking people talking about my shit whenever I want, and I know how. There you go.
And
Believe
then
whatever
what?
you want. You make things up about
You
me
cut
anyway.
out for a second.
You don't actually understand the
You
shit
cut
that
out.
I say.
You cut out.
And when we actually talk about it, it becomes clear that actually my positions in general are generally reasonable. So I'm not this terrible person you make me out to be. And I'm not this fucking turf that you make me out to be.
I mean,
It's not going to stop you saying
yeah,
it.
still,
So I can say
yeah.
what I want.
I
could
stand by
say
that.
I could be talking complete shit the entire time.
Yeah,
because
you
it doesn't
could,
matter.
and that's the
'Cause you don't
problem.
listen to a word
That's
I
the
say. You're not
problem
listening to
because
me.
you don't have the credibility of meaning what you say.
You
You
don't have any
being like,
credibility.
I mean,
You're
at least I
fucking Twitch fault.
at least I say what I say that I mean what I say. You won't even say
No, I
that
say-
you meant what you said.
I say what I mean, that I mean what I say. Okay.
That's not the
everything
words
I'm
that
saying
came
is
out of my
completely
mouth.
100%
Actually, you
genuinely,
won't.
honestly,
You
my
won't.
opinion. There you go. Now you can fucking take me seriously. Congratulations.
And that I'm sorry. That includes the apology. So yes, you did mean the apology to Femias, is what you're saying.
Maybe.
Why can you? You just okay.
So
Okay.
there's
All
kind
right.
of two parts to it.
All right.
Okay?
I
There's
think
two
that's
parts
I
to
think
it.
that's pretty
There's
much.
two parts to it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I meant completely what I said about Femios when I apologized. I meant that I felt sorry for apologizing. Fuck me, dude. I'm getting confused. I meant what I said, apologizing to Femios. The second part is I didn't mean any of it.
Right.
What do you?
So which is it?
What are you saying? Oh, those are the two options you're
I'm
saying.
saying both are true simultaneously.
That you meant it and you didn't mean it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
How? Explain.
I need to. That's how it is.
Yeah, that's not
You asked
an
me to be
answer.
genuine. I'm
That's
being
not real.
genuine.
Okay, so you genuinely are just sketchy and won't stand on business about what you say.
If you're intuiting like
I'm
my
not intuiting. You're
personality
telling
from
me
this,
to intuit.
when you came
You are
at
literally
me,
telling
like
me
the most
to
insane
intuit
fucking freak
everything
I've ever met in my
because
life.
you won't say.
You don't get to see who I really am. That's the whole point. I guess you
don't-
did for a little bit because we actually had a fucking
Now,
discussion.
Marychu,
But you don't
you
get
keep
to see who I
saying
really am. I don't
you
give a
keep saying
fuck.
like who came after you. Is it just them calling you a turf and covering you for 10 hours? Is that the?
It wasn't covering me for 10 hours. It was covering me for fucking 40 plus hours.
Right, 40 hours. Is that
Saying
like
all
going
kinds of
off?
crazy. I don't even know what most of it was because I can't watch that fucking shit. It's fucking
It's
painful.
not. It's okay. It's not for you. We didn't. We obviously were covering you, but we talk about a whole bunch of things in between. It's not.
Yeah,
it's
and now
not
you're
meant
telling me you know
for.
what my personality is, and you're intuiting my personality based on a dogshit conversation that you know is not like serious.
You told me that I have to intuit it, what you think and say.
Yeah, not my personality.
I mean,
You don't know me.
What am I
don't know
supposed to
you. I don't know
do?
what your fucking personality is. I don't know who you are when you're off
Yeah.
screen. If you're with your mum and dad or whatever, I don't know how you act. I don't pretend to know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you act when talking to someone you actually like versus someone like me who you don't like. I'm not going to pretend like I do. You're trying to say, oh, I'm like this as a person because I won't answer some stupid question when I'm not obliged to. And
That's what
haven't
you are
presented yourself
here,
as someone
in
that
this
I feel like I should
context.
be honest with.
I'm sure you
don't
have.
deserve
I'm sure
honesty.
you have. Oh, okay. It's
You
not
don't
for
deserve to be
my. It's
taken
not because
seriously by
I
me.
deserve it. It's because you are here talking
No,
to
you're
me
turning it
on
back
this
me.
stream.
I'm telling you how I feel now. You don't listen to a word I say.
I've
There's
been
no point in me
listening.
saying anything. I might as well say complete nonsense. I might as well
you
make everything the
have.
fuck up.
Can you make
because
more
you're gonna do so
nonsense than
anyway.
you've already been doing?
That's very rich.
Okay.
It's very clear
Will you
that
take
you guys
back
don't
that I'm a
respect
turf
each
now
other.
that you know that I'm trans inclusive when it comes to like bathrooms and stuff?
Wait, I'm sorry. What? Say that again. Perry was talking.
Right, no, it's they asked, will you take back, Aiko, that Marychu is a turf now that you've heard their points about trans-inclusive bathrooms?
No, absolutely not. The bathroom
There you
thing
go.
is
Then you don't
better,
listen to
but
what I
yeah,
say,
no, I
so I
think
don't care.
overall, I definitely, yeah, no, I definitely think
You
that
don't even
she
know what
has.
turf is.
Typically, it's cis people that think that trans people should be excluded.
Then I can't be a. I don't think trans people should be excluded. I think there's certain things where it makes more sense to regard them as their sex rather than their gender. That's not exclusion.
Yeah, it is.
That's
when
how you order
when you
people.
are
That's where you put people. Okay, so it's exclusive to say that men can't go in women's bathrooms. That's exclusionary then, according to you.
trans women.
Why
Trans
is it
women.
that trans people should be less excluded from things than cis people?
I think that everyone should have the same rights.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. As
No,
much
you
as
don't. You think the
possible.
trans people should have
As
more
much
rights.
as presently, the reason why I'm making a point about trans women's rights versus cis women's rights is because I see that there's much more I don't want to say harm, but there's a lot worse things happening to trans women than cis women in this context when it comes to bathrooms, when it comes to like not being able to join the military, having to like get a new license because they decided you have to like change
I'm
your
against
sex
that kind
back.
of stuff. People should be free.
Okay. Yeah.
But then things
But
like
you
the
also
gender pay
don't
gap
you
still
also
exist,
think
things like period poverty
don't you
still exist.
also
Those are female issues.
I'm sorry, you say that again? Sorry, I was talking over you.
Things like period poverty, things like the gender pay gap still exists, which are female issues. So sometimes trans women actually have advantages over women.
It's not about advantages over.
No. If trans women can fill quotas in jobs for like female people, and you've got two candidates, one of them might have to take a whole bunch of time off because she's going to get pregnant one day. The other is a trans woman who can't. Then the trans woman has an advantage in that way, if they're like otherwise equal. So that specifically disadvantages women against trans women. These are very complicated things where rights clash, and we have to acknowledge that sometimes rights clash and form opinions on what to do about that.
So
That's
you're
the kind of thing
saying
that I talk about.
So you're saying when someone is an employer is choosing between when they have to consider a quota of hiring females, that they are more likely to give it to the trans woman than a female?
I'm saying that the trans woman is advantaged in certain ways. It's
Do you
not
think
as
they're
simple
more
as
hireable? Do you think a trans woman is more hireable than a cis woman?
But
Like
it
in
depends
a
on lot of
high.
factors. I'm trying to express that it's not as simple as trans women have it worse than women. What I'm expressing is actually it's kind of a mix.
Of course.
There's things that trans women are actually advantaged on.
Yeah, of course.
And things that they're disadvantaged on.
Well,
and what people do is they don't see the nuance of this and they just see it as you're either trans inclusive or you're not. Black and white. I ain't here for that. My position is somewhere in the middle, you know?
Well, yeah, that's my thing. I think that your position that's in the middle, not the most extreme of extremes. I still think that that's not far enough, in my opinion. You can have your positions and whatever you think.
Why are you telling me how I ought to think about trans issues as a trans person who has lived as a trans person for a long time?
I'm just talking about your professed takes.
Openly trans.
Just talking about your takes. This is my opinion.
I've forgotten less about trans than you have ever learned.
Okay, how about this? When I was watching your Katie Neves video, you said stuff about how like kids shouldn't be able to have puberty.
We forgot more, Marychu, just so you know. You fucked that up.
That's the one. Yeah,
okay.
Thank you.
Fucking moron. Yeah, I could, yeah.
Okay, so when I saw you talking about kids and puberty blockers, you were saying that if a kid takes puberty blockers, they can become sterile, and then...
Well, they will if they follow the protocol, yeah.
The protocol of including...
So,
what do you mean?
Social transition, then puberty blockers, then cross-sex hormones, then eventually surgery.
Okay, so then after puberty...
Most people...
Once HRT starts is what you're saying. That's when the sterility issue could come in. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, but I mean, it's necessary that if you transition as a kid that you will never become fertile like ever. So you're making a decision.
What?
Because you have to bear in mind.
Why is that? That's not true.
Hang on. No, it is true. In the overwhelming majority of cases, if a child goes on to puberty blockers, and there's studies confirming this, they will then end up on HRT. So in effect, they're making a decision as to whether they're going to have their own kids at very young ages. I don't see that as appropriate. I don't think a kid can consent to that kind of thing.
What age does someone start HRT?
You'll never have your own kids.
What age do people typically start taking HRT if they are transitioning when they're young?
Depends. I think it's normally they don't like them being on puberty blockers for more than a year or two.
Really?
So I presume it's going to depend on the person.
I don't think so. If someone starts taking puberty blockers when they're like 13, they're going to like stop and make them start taking HRT at 14. I don't think that's how it works. Also, when I was looking, I don't think...
How does it work then? No. How does it work then?
Oh, yeah. No, I'll say. to my understanding, and I understand that, like, you know, it depends on the access of resources and whatnot, but if you do have access to resources, then typically what will happen is minors, before they start HRT, they can have their sperm and their eggs frozen. So if they want to have kids in the future, they can.
What's the success rates of those kind of treatments? How likely is it
I
to
don't
have their own
know,
kids?
but I imagine
Low.
that if you
Not
do it
high.
before, no, why do you think it's not high if you take perfectly unaffected eggs before HRT and save them, or
Because
sperm and save them?
saying things like, you know, they're like 30% likely or something like that. There's stuff that I've read. I'd have to go back to it, but
But
this is
based
just
on
stuff
what?
that I've read. This is studies saying
For
that.
medical reasons, I would assume. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously,
I
wouldn't
just
expect Marychu to
haven't seen that.
understand
I don't.
biology.
No, you can say that, Perry. But I was just, you know, looking into it, the process, and I'm saying, like, I understand that not many people probably won't have access to being able to, like, freeze their eggs or sperm or whatever. But the
how many
issue
even
isn't.
can? How many even can?
I don't know, but that's an issue of
So then
resources,
not all
isn't
of them
it?
can.
That's
and
an
then the
issue of
frozen-
resources. Yeah.
Yeah, so not all of them can.
Yeah.
And then what they freeze, those gametes, there's no guarantee that they'll work anyway,
Why?
because that's just how it is. Like there's stuff
Because
about
of
this. Look up,
what? Because
do
of.
some research. Do some research.
I mean,
Like,
I've
It's
looked
not like
into it
there's
a little bit.
30% chance.
Can I finish the fucking sentence? Do some research into how often, like, cryogenically frozen whatever gametes are successful and, like, actually reproduce a child. It's not 100% of cases. It's not just.
So when
you take your
people
sperm and then
go
you
to
have a kid one day.
fertility clinics
Maybe you
and they
won't.
have their eggs frozen to use in the future, it's only a 30% chance that it'll even work.
I can't remember the exact number, but it's not a guaranteed thing.
Why
you
would
can
it?
freeze
Of
all
course.
your eggs and sperm and shit, and it can still end up not working.
True.
you're making that decision
Yeah,
as a
true. The percentage there's always a risk of that, yes, but 30% isn't a reasonable number to be saying, because
What do you mean
why
it's
would
not reasonable? I'm just saying.
30%.
Reasonable how?
Look it up in your own time.
I did, though. I'm telling you, I'm asking you these questions.
Yeah, I know you're asking
Well,
questions.
do you have a number that you're more
It doesn't
familiar
matter
with
what
than
the
Aiko?
number is.
Or?
I'm already saying.
I have no
don't
idea
remember off the top of my head.
about freezing, like what the
The actual
how
point
difficult
is,
the
it's not 100% effective. That's all that
Nothing-
matters. We
yes,
don't need to
I
quibble over
understand.
the number.
I
It's
understand.
not 100%
That's
effective.
totally
And not
that's
everyone can do it
totally
in the first
true.
place.
Which is
There we
why
go. Thank
I
you.
agree that this is a serious decision to make if you start taking hormones, and it can affect your future fertility and so on. But
Exactly.
this is why what's needed is for parents to be able to have resources to understand, to work with doctors, can get multiple opinions and figure out a care plan that you reassess every appointment, like how things usually go. I think that the idea
is-
that people are forcing their kids to transition for the rest of their lives when they're
I never said that. I never said that. We're going off onto something I didn't say.
okay.
The whole point is,
yeah, go ahead.
they can't screen. So with kids especially, like if we're saying gender identity is a thing, which I don't really believe in that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But gender identity is not generally a static thing, not in everyone anyway. It changes in a lot of people. I think it probably changes a lot more when you're young, when you still don't know yourself. You think you're like this, and then you still have a lot of stuff to discover.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes more kind of solidified over time. And it probably takes most people their whole life to understand it fully. So pinning it down at a young age seems crazy to me. Like, there was something else. Fuck. No, it's gone. I'll try and remember.
Well,
yeah.
You said pinning it down. You're not pinning it
Mhm.
down, like, especially since
Yes, you are.
I would. Well, okay. So puberty blockers. That's something that I'll look up how long people typically stay on that, but that buys you time, doesn't it? Before you go on
It doesn't
hormones.
pan out that way.
How-
It's stated
how
that
not?
it is that way
How not?
because the overwhelming majority of kids that go on puberty blockers for trans purposes end up taking HRT.
Do they?
And the thing is, you might say, well, it's
believe-
confirmation,
yeah.
but what kind of confirmation bias is building? You socially transition your kid because he likes playing with Barbies or whatever the reason is. It might be genuine, it might be something stupid. It doesn't really matter. So you change their name. These adults are telling you, okay, you can be this instead. And you start the treatment. It all builds this kind of confirmation bias.
That sounds
It can
like
take years
bad
to undo
parenting.
that kind of thing.
That sounds
But
like
I
bad
don't care what you think
parenting.
about. Do you have kids?
No, I don't.
They don't fucking care. Like,
Do you have kids?
it builds. No, that's why I'm not making comments on people's parenting. You know what I say?
No, I just literally.
People-
Do you not think that if a parent like forces a kid into a transition,
That's
that they're a
not-
bad parent? If they're not, if they're
When did I
leading
say
their
force?
kid, if they're
Every time I say something, you change it.
no, I'm asking. Let me ask this
Every
question.
time I say something,
Let
you
me
change it. It's just
let me
fucking
ask
painful.
the question though. You said that you balked at me saying that it's bad parenting, but do you not agree that that's bad parenting?
The
if they
parenting thing has got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I hear TERFs saying things like, "Oh, you transitioned your kid? That's child abuse." I think that's a really shitty thing to say because the parent has their own reasons. They might be very genuinely thinking that this is the best thing for their kid. I don't think it's fair to just say that's child abuse.
yeah,
I don't think it's necessarily
absolutely. I
bad
agree with
parenting
that.
to transition your kid. It depends.
Well,
I don't
no,
think it's
I
a good
mean
idea.
like
I'm not
you
for
can.
transitioning kids, but I don't judge the parents. I don't have kids. It's not really my place to.
Well, then wouldn't it be better to, talk about like education, parents understanding? And I mean, like these things, outliers, sure. People who are, maybe someone's very like excited about having a trans child. I don't know. But that's not typically how it works out. Like in real life, if someone,
Well,
the
how would you
parent
know?
is engaged, if you go to a doctor, doctors don't just let you like, just
Doctors
sign up a
tend
kid.
to follow the WPATH model. WPATH model is about affirming as quickly as possible. WPATH had members that were presented with like kids with like DID. And instead of saying, "Oh, we really need to fix this DID thing going on first before we consider you," it's like, no, what we need to do is get the consent of all these different alters so that we can transition this person whose identity is completely fractured. And who knows when it becomes whole, who they actually are and what they should look like.
Yeah,
WPATH
I don't know.
says get it done as quickly as possible. I think that's a bad thing. So to an extent, going to the doctor can end up being part of the problem.
Really?
And it depends whether it's right for the kid, but you can't screen the kids for who it's right for and who it's not. You just don't know.
How can't you? That's the job of a doctor. That's why you would talk to a psychiatrist. That's why you go through like screenings. You can and you don't just shove them on hormones and stuff. Everyone's going to be different. There are pros and cons to all different kinds of treatments. Doing it now versus making them go through puberty and try to offset it later. Like this is a decision that the parents have to make with the child and the doctor, with communication and care every step of the way.
What do you say to those that went through that transition and then get to their early 20s or something and they can't have their own kids and now they regret everything? They realize their gender identity is not what they thought it was before. What do you say to those kids?
Like if they went, like they're sterile or something, like
yeah, so
because
let's
of
say you take a
HRT?
girl. Let's say you take a girl who went on puberty blockers, then went on hormones, had a mastectomy, is no longer able to have their own kids, and say by age 21, because that's very young apparently, they change their mind now. They've been trans for about 8 years and they realize that they actually identify as a woman and they're not happy that they've changed their body irreversibly based on a decision they potentially made when they were like very young as a child, you know? Isn't that a serious thing? Shouldn't we consider that kind of thing?
I mean, yeah, you absolutely have to consider the future repercussions.
I don't think there's enough safeguards.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. If you think that there are not enough safeguards for that, but the answer isn't that to like stop them from, because you're against puberty blockers for kids and stuff, right?
In the overwhelming vast majority of cases, I don't think you should transition children. I think it should be an adult decision that you make.
But I mean, they should have to up till they're an adult, just go through their natural puberty until
because there's
18.
studies that say that some of these people will kind of their identity will come back round. Their dysphoria will lessen.
So you think, you think this should be enforced? Like the rules should reflect that they can't, that they shouldn't be allowed to.
Good enough.
Okay.
I don't think the evidence is good enough that this is helping these kids.
Okay, so
there's a lot of studies out there that suggest very, very little benefit to actually giving them puberty blockers. I think it loads a lot of confirmation bias. That means it can take years to realize you're making a mistake because it's not right for everyone. I don't think it's a decision that a kid should be making personally.
I mean, the puberty blockers part is like hitting the pause button on it so they can make those decisions a little later.
That's what the party line is, but that's not how it works out in practice. In practice, basically everyone goes on to it. Something like 95% in one study.
I don't know what that study is. But what I'd like to say is that how it's functioning right now? I'm talking about like ideally, if it functioned, if let's say if it people were properly screened, and like this was definitely a trans child. No, I'm just asking. Do you think that they should be able to go on puberty blockers in that case?
I think we still need more evidence that kind of harms, because we pushed an awful lot of this like fully reversible stuff that is just completely untrue.
Well, I don't know about fully reversible.
Yeah, it's not
nothing's
fully
really
like when people,
nothing is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like you take you take medications that in the future could like hurt your liver or whatever, but it's like the need for it is more important than any future complications that you'll deal with in the future. Like you're weighing out your best options. And I think that like forcing a trans child to like a trans girl to grow up to like get facial hair, all of that stuff, I couldn't. You don't think that would be traumatizing?
What's a trans girl?
I'm sorry?
What's a trans girl?
Like what? Wait, what do you mean? Like someone who is assigned male at birth and identifies as a girl and wants to transition?
Because someone identifies as something other.
That's what they want to. No.
Okay,
this is what they're. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that.
What is trans?
Stick with me here. I'm asking you. I want this question answered. Okay. I want to know. Let's say it is this child is someone that is growing up to be 100% trans woman, and they will have no regrets, right? That child, should they still be forced to go through a male puberty?
I think saying forced to go through a male puberty is an odd way of putting it.
Should have
if
to.
In an ideal world, you could take a kid at 10 and they say they're trans and they would only have transitioned anyway, then maybe. But the problem is it doesn't reflect in the current situation. You know?
So,
we don't have the evidence to say that this is a good thing that we should continue doing. And that's why countries like the UK and Sweden and Finland and increasing other amounts of countries are starting to say we need to hold back on this and actually see what the data says. We don't really know. Like, something important. Until about 10 years ago, the gender identity clinics in the UK, they were seeing like small amounts of kids. Like in 2008, it was something like 50 or so. In 2022-ish, it was thousands, like about 4,000. Most of the trans kids that we're seeing, the ones that go on treatment, are very recent. We don't really know how this is affecting their lifespans, what's going to happen when they get older, because a lot of them are quite recent cases. There's too much we don't know, in my opinion. What we're doing in the UK is doing trials and stuff, and I support that. I don't think we should shut them down like some people say. But I don't think we have the evidence to say this is a good idea. And there's too many risks at the moment. So I'm against it myself.
What do you think about like other uses for puberty blockers? Like other medical uses?
Puberty. So first off, I've been on a puberty blocker because they use it for suppressing testosterone and estrogen in general. I was on something called Decapeptyl, and I had surgery, so I didn't need it anymore. So it is already used for trans people that are adults.
Okay, so you were an adult.
Or something.
Okay, I got it.
There's that kind of usage anyway. I mean, like the kind of stuff they use for puberty blockers, I think was used for like chemical castration, like cancer and stuff like that. With precocious puberty, it's kind of mixed. Like, from what I understand, they're reticent to really use them at all, and only for like short periods of time. There were a bunch of girls that sued Lupron, I think it was, because they were on these puberty blockers, and later in life have all these problems with like bones and stuff. So I think they have to be very careful and make sure that there's more of a risk of this precocious puberty harming them than taking the puberty blocker. And even then, I think they're only on it for like short periods of time.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, honestly, I think that these are all things that need to be made, like decisions that need to be made on a case-by-case basis, with working closely with medical professionals to treat the individual child. Do you not
think you're recusing yourself from having an opinion by saying stuff like that?
By saying what?
Are you not like kind of entering into the discussion and backing out by saying, well, it's on other people?
No. I'm sorry.
I think you're doing that.
I think it's important for parents, and their trans children to have access to information and to medical health care. So if someone is just willy-nilly sending this child on a trajectory that goes straight, a year of puberty blockers, then straight to hormones, and not even taking consideration those future potential problems, that's bad. That should be, that's done poorly. That needs to be fixed. But the issue isn't giving the kids puberty blockers when they reach that certain age. It's, a failure of the system, of the medical professionals to be screening them properly. So I don't know how much that happens.
There isn't a way of screening them properly.
Why?
It just doesn't exist.
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
That you just can't tell whose, so-called gender identity will persist in that direction and whose will change over time. I mean, you have people that are like gender fluid and stuff. That just exists in some people. I don't really believe much in gender identity. I think it really is just a word you apply to feelings, and it's not very important. But some people's gender identity, if you believe in that kind of thing, does just move around all the time. It's very hard to tell. Like most kids, they work that stuff out later in life.
So do you think that like if there's like what if the trans kid is very dysphoric, starting puberty, going through puberty, and is very dysphoric, and suicidal, kind of ideation? What do you think about then?
I mean, in general, I don't think we should be kind of doing this thing where it's like, oh, if a person says that they're going to top themselves, then we should bend to their will. At the same time, it's obviously like risk versus benefit, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
I agree with that.
We should be talking about that in like extreme cases, I think. The vast majority of kids, I just don't think it's a good idea.
Okay. All right. I mean,
so my position is not like 100% ironclad. It has to be none whatsoever. But I think it needs to be, we need more evidence. We need more research, which we're doing in the UK. It's not ready yet. It's not a good idea right now. I mean,
it seems like people know the effects of puberty blockers at this point, and I think parents can make medical decisions that are extreme. Kids get cancer, like intense things that limit their future prospects. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I don't think we know enough to say that. We don't know quite a lot of the long-term effects. That's part of the point.
Haven't puberty blockers been around for a really long time? Don't we know the effects on
not being
people's
used
bodies?
In this way? No.
Okay, so you think that it's more. I thought it was interesting that you said bend to their will, bend to the child's will.
Yeah, do this or I'll kill myself is like manipulative, right? We shouldn't be going down those.
You don't think that should be taken seriously? I mean, you don't think that should be taken seriously? I mean, we know like the suicide rates and all.
I'll say that it shouldn't be taken seriously. I'll say that as an unbiased moderator. You shouldn't take suicide threats seriously ever. Especially not when Firebat does them. So you're a hypocrite, Psycho, for example.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess I think we disagree about a lot of things, but I'm not really gonna. Yeah, I'm not trying to change your mind about any of these things. I was just wondering about your thought process on that.
That's fine. Listen, I hope it makes a bit more sense. I do genuinely, I actually do care about these issues. It is a bit annoying that so many of the times people will just find the most offensive thing they can and say, I'm offensive. I really would rather people just kind of sat and listened for a while and got a broad range of my stuff. And not everyone's going to do that. And some people are going to judge me. That's fine. I understand. But to really understand and to really be able to kind of talk about me in a way that you actually understand, you do actually have to listen quite a lot. It takes time, and I understand that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we have some fundamental disagreements, but I see what you're saying. I mean, I disagree. I think that you should take suicidal ideation in kids, trans or cis, very seriously.
Sure, I think what I would say, what I think is most pertinent here really, is that there needs to be able to be a breadth of opinion on this subject. There needs to be able to be people that can say, I think kids should transition versus I don't think kids should be able to transition. And we're not calling one side child abusers and the other side bigots. I would really like to see that kind of thing. And I understand that I'm putting myself out there in a way that people are going to think I'm a bigot because I say things in quite a brash and blunt way.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, we need to move to a place where there's more diversity of opinion. where we're not enforcing kind of progressive ideals on trans people. Like, I personally find that transphobic, because you're telling trans people they need to regard their issues in a specific way and follow a specific kind of, you know, political ideal. If a trans person wants to be MAGA, it's not bad that they're trans and MAGA. I disagree with the MAGA shit. Whether they're trans or not, I'm not gonna, it doesn't matter to me, you know?
Yeah, it's about
Trans
whatever
people should
it's
be able to
about.
have those opinions and not be treated a certain way. Like, just focus on what you disagree with and stuff. That's what I'd rather people did.
What do you mean? Like a MAGA trans person should be...
It doesn't matter that they're trans. They're MAGA. They believe some insane shit, presumably.
You focus
and
on the
I'm
shit.
sure you and I agree quite a lot on fucking Donald Trump, trust me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like, it doesn't matter that they're trans. It seems transphobic to point out specifically that someone is like trans.
Yeah. If it's
like,
if it's related, if it's an unrelated thing, and someone's like focusing that they are. Yeah, I've seen this a lot with different marginalized people. Like I remember there's this one guy who was like a Black Proud Boy MAGA guy, and it was always attached to that. Like, no one would ever engage with him on a deeper level than just, you're Black, why do you like Trump? It's very...
Exactly.
Yeah, so...
Do you think you did it, Aiko? Do you think that you engaged with Marychu mostly on the fact that they're trans as opposed to with them as a person?
Well, I mean, I think it's overall as a whole. Wait, what do you mean exactly as a... Do
you think that you were too quick to come to conclusions about Marychu? Would you say that?
No, no, not really. I mean, I understand what she's saying.
That kind of makes what we just talked about completely worthless.
Like, I understand what you're saying. I think we fundamentally like, I understand what you're saying. I think we have different beliefs when it comes to like gender. But I'm not going to tell you to change your beliefs to mine. And if it was just your beliefs,
having those beliefs.
I think that really what it was is seeing you, the way that you talked to Femyaz, not because it's Femyaz, but just, you know, I was a bit taken aback by that. And then seeing the stuff you were saying about this Katie Neves person based on this essay, that was my, if not for the vitriol that I perceived, I would not have been interested in any of this.
Yeah, I think you're not perceiving vitriol on the other side, and you've come into it halfway through.
Not Femyaz, not Femyaz. Femyaz, forget Femyaz. I just mean, like, I'm looking at you as you specifically, as you present yourself in talking about these things, and yeah, that's just...
Yeah, but do you not think your judgment coming from the Katie Neves thing? So you've just watched the Katie Neves thing and you think a certain thing. Now you've spoken to me and understood a bit more of the nuances of what I'm saying. And even, you know, I think you are actually getting some of what I'm saying. And I'm glad, you know. Does it not kind of change things though? Would you not be less likely to say, well, this person's a trans TERF, this person's like advocating against their rights? Like, maybe it's a bit more complicated than that. Would that not kind of change your mind a little bit? I think
it's definitely, I think it's very nuanced. Yeah. I think that I understand you have a nuanced perspective. I think like I said, if I just disagreed with your takes, I wouldn't have been interested at all. It was more like the way you were engaging, and the selection of the person and how you, the sources you use when it comes to Katie. So this was my analysis of your specific presentation in this video, and from what I've seen, aside from that, the way that you handle yourself. Yeah, it just seems like you took
that and ran with it is all. I think that any sensible person, even if they did initially start out where you're at from watching the Katie Neves thing or whatever, should be able to understand that it's not necessarily fair to like shame someone for having specific positions. And it's not really fair to say, well, this person has some agreements with TERFs, therefore they're a TERF and stuff like that. I think when it starts becoming more generalized, it really should be about, you said this kind of stuff and I disagree with you. That's what I'd rather it was about, I guess.
I guess also it's like when I seeing, like you said, the way that you talk about things, present yourself on stream in these videos, is, what did you say, brusque? Did you, or
To an extent, yeah. I'm very brash and blunt.
Yeah,
And I say
so-
things in more of an exaggerated and kind of entertaining
Yeah.
than I normally would, but the underlying point remains the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And possibly, I think it's a fair criticism to say that I put myself across in a way that people are going to turn their brains off and just hear the kind of the more brash nature of how I'm speaking and not really listen to what I'm actually saying underneath it. You know what I mean? I think that is a fair criticism to make of someone like me, that I probably do inspire some people not to try and listen for the meat of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think, like, you know, I felt like I was bringing some of the same energy back, because when I'm looking at Katie Neves and this, and there's nothing behind it that's presented, I'm like, oh, so this person she's just calling a man an AGP, and that she's not trans, and going up, you know,
Okay.
like you
Yeah,
say,
it
being
does sound
hyperbolic
like
and stuff.
Marychu, you're like a bitch, basically, because it's like, you say all this shit about all these people, but as soon as Aiko starks you're like crying. Would you admit
When did I
that's what you
cry?
admit?
What's the
Well,
crying?
you're like whinging. Well, you're like whinging, you know.
Whinging how?
Well, like kind of like you're doing right now.
We're just having a conversation.
Well, it seems very clear to me that you were complaining about this, but you made a whole video about Aiko.
Yeah, I responded to the kind of things that were being said. I provided
Yeah,
context.
yeah. But when they talk, you're like, this person's obsessing over me. It's like we're all streamers, and it seems like you can't handle when Aiko does the things that you do to others. Would you
Have I not
acknowledge
handled
that? Well, can't handle, complain about it.
Sure, I don't know what you're saying.
All right.
We're all just going
Sure.
back and forth and shit flinging.
Yeah.
And now we've had
No,
a
I
bit
get
more
the
of a
idea.
conversation, you know?
Uh-huh. No, I see. It just seems like, okay, we're at the point where you guys are like, okay, you know, I presume this and I presume that. I feel like we've hashed out the issues, so I just wanted to get it across. But I know I appreciate you guys for coming on, you know. Sorry for, but thanks for, I don't know if there's any other like last things you guys want to say.
I'll try and play nice. I appreciate having this conversation, I guess. That's about all I got.
Yeah, thanks for having this conversation. And Perry, I did this for you. You should be nicer to me, okay? I did this to give you content.
I'm nice enough.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
I'll let you go. All right, bye.